Hey, all right. All right. I see people jumping on. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I am sharing this to our team group. So if any guests out there, first of all, I do want to thank you guys for jumping on. This is the organization in my econ called Financial Blueprint Academy. This is our virtual Super Saturday, and we do these once a month. Okay. My name is Terrence Hill, and I'm tuning in, and I'll be the moderator for today's training event. And I'm tuning in all the way from Anchorage, Alaska. So what I do is make sure you grab a pen and pad so you can take great notes. And I'm gonna open it up. So if anybody want to just give a shout out, we all cash flowing, we all getting rid of debt, we all investing, And if anybody want to just shout out their city and state before we get started, just let us know where you're calling in from or where you're tuning in from. And after we get done with that, then we'll be ready to rock and roll.
Hey, Nick Woodard out of Augusta, Georgia.
Hey, what's cracking, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. Willie Ray Johnson Jr., but I'm coming to you from the house this time, from Tyler, Texas, baby.
What's up,
Hey,
T
good
Hill?
morning. Good morning. This is Irene Diaz from Modesto, California, tuning in from South Lake Tahoe.
Saw Hasire out of
Hey, it's Bruce.
Tennessee.
It's Andre Stinson.
Bruce Melton, Fort Walton Beach, Florida.
Ben Cisneros, Houston, Texas, but I'm tuning in from Galveston, Texas.
Hey, everybody, Mike Holmes, Greenville, South Carolina.
Chauncey Reed out of San Antonio, Texas, fam.
Darnell Maxwell, Baltimore, Maryland.
Charlene Baxter, Honolulu, Hawaii.
LaWanda Woods from Chicago.
Marla Davis, St. Louis, Missouri.
Brandy from Atlanta, Georgia, tuning in from Vallejo, California.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, well, I will not hold you long. Once again, I told you we would go ahead and get this thing started. It is 9:03, and I want to thank each and every one of you guys for the support. I want to thank each and every one of you guys for tuning in. Out of all places you could have been, you decided to be right here. Now, why are we here today? Okay, we do these, like I said earlier, once a month, right? And we do these, right, this training, okay? And this is to help people understand why it is so important to understand how money works, okay? We're gonna show and share the financial blueprint, right? It's a financial GPS. See, creating wealth is very simple. First of all, it's really how you think about money. So that's why these calls webinars are conducted. So people who just get started in the business or people who just start to learn how money works, now they're gonna get a chance to hear from these leaders, right? I like to call them blueprint instructors, right? Master blueprint instructors. And they're going to show you what tool they're using as part of the income shift and membership and why it's so important to use that tool, okay? Now, me personally, myself, I will share my quick testimony, right? And I will even show, prove that I'm on the investment side, okay? And that's why I'm so grateful to be leading this organization, and I am so grateful for the support and the team that that I work with, okay, and I will work for, okay. So real quick, my brief, real fast testimony. I did 20 years in the military, and I had to make a decision: was I gonna work and get a retirement job after I retire? And I did not want to do that, so I had to learn what you're gonna be learning tonight. What you're gonna be learning today, okay? And somebody probably put you on this here webinar so you can get more information, and we're going to show you that too. We're going to start off with an overview, okay? But I was able to go from, with a military background, I was able to go from living, I had more month than I had money, right? I don't know if you can relate to that, but I wasn't even robbing Peter to pay Paul. I was all tapped out. And so that was before I learned these strategies. After I learned these strategies, ladies and gentlemen, guess what? we was able to, and up to date, we are able to give away 10% of our income, our current income. We invest 50%, okay? And we live off of 40%. I always say documentation beat conversation, okay? So real quick, I just want to show you, because I'm super excited. And guys, you want to do the same thing, guys. Always, you know, share your success. Be grateful for it, okay? This was back in 2019. You know, this whole financial transformation when we went from not being able to invest to investing. This was 2019, okay? We maxed out, you know, my wife, 35% of her income. This is her retirement savings plan. IRS in 2019 will let you, or at that time, the max you can contribute is $19,000, and it was tax deferred. It's okay if you don't understand tax deferred. It's okay. That's why you showed up today, to learn. Okay, that was 2019. Carried over to 2020, right? January 2020 when we started. You know, we increased it because of how we thought about money. We increased it from 35% to 45%. Now, what did that do for us? It allowed us to max out the contribution in 8 months. It went from $19,000 a year to $19,500 a year for 2020. And look at the tax savings. So that's why it's so important, because I'm going to end it with payroll tax. Everybody confused and mad and upset about taxes. So without any further ado, I'm just going to go ahead and bring up the first presenter, okay, for today. And this gentleman here, who I have a ton of respect for, okay, they have cash flow. Without telling his whole success story, he will tell you some of it, but I know he has cash flow at least up to $100,000, okay? I know that. This gentleman hailed from, because I work with him, this gentleman hailed out of the great state of Augusta, Georgia, all right? He's a great father, okay? And he loves his family. He's a family man. And he has, I met him one time, and this gentleman here has been on fire, and with little to no guidance, he is leading the organization within this organization. So without any further ado, I want to turn it over and introduce to you Mr. Nick Woodard from Augusta, Georgia. Nick, lights, camera, action. The screen is yours, sir.
Hey, all right, Terrence. Hey, definitely appreciate it. You know, I got to give it back to you, because had it not been for you sit me down and sharing this information with you and everything that you continue to teach me and pour into me as a mentor, family, friend is what I consider you, I would not be in the position that I am in today. So as I get ready to share just a little bit about myself, I'm going to go ahead and pull my slide up. Just give me a quick thumbs up if you can see my slide, Willie. All right, cool deal. Well, hey, ladies and gentlemen, like you heard Terrence say, you know, he did talk about my cash flow. But before I even got to that point, right, I was probably not even like anybody on this webinar today, right? And what I mean by that is I was not even living a paycheck to paycheck lifestyle. I was living, getting paid Friday to being broke on Monday, right? Simply because I just did not know how money works. So I was getting in so much debt because I had no more money. I was going out, maxing out credit cards, right? And Terrence introduced me to a webinar just like the one you guys are looking at today. I sat down, I listened, and it made sense, and I invested in myself. And so off the first strategy, which I'm going to teach y'all and go over here in just a minute, off the W-4 form, I was able to cash flow, income shift an extra $700 back into my household between me and my wife, right? Then we took that new cash flow and we put it towards our debt, right? And so as of today, we have eliminated over $50,000 at the government's expense. And y'all are going to hear me break that down a little bit further at the government's expense. And yes, Terrence is right. We have cash flowed over $100,000 simply by using these strategies, right? So as y'all can see, we represent the Financial Blueprint Academy, okay? We're here to give you a financial peace of mind, all right? But I want to share with you guys a strategy that my mentor, Terrence Hill, actually set me down, and it just made sense, right? So feel free to take a picture, write this down on your pen and pad like you should have, and just understand what it means to have income for life, all right? The numbers in the middle represent the ages, right? The year 65. The year 65, that's the age that most people are going to work to legally collect Social Security, right? Because here in America, you know, when you collect Social Security, you know, the ages are around, you know, 65, 67, just depending on your age bracket, right? The number 25 represents the number of years, you know, that's the age that most people, you know, embark into their career, right? You know, we were all taught to school, we were all taught to go to school, get a good job, go to college, and then, you know, by the age of 25 is usually when we embark on our careers. So we're gonna work for the next at least 40 years in our career, right? To hit the retirement age. And write this down if you're taking notes. Retirement is not an age, ladies and gentlemen. Retirement is actually a dollar amount. And we're gonna learn more about that today, but just follow this example. So for the next 40 years, we're gonna work this job. Now, if you look on the left-hand side, we got hours worked, 40. I know we got some heavy hitters on here. We're putting in some overtime. You know, we're really rocking and rolling, but let's just keep it at 40 hours. Weeks work, I got 50 weeks on here. I know there's 52 weeks in the year, but we don't want to work all 52, right? So let's take a 2-week vacation. If you look over on the right-hand side, we got the number 25,000. That's going to represent an average salary. Again, base it off your situation. 25,000 may be a low ball number, but I'm trying to show you something by following these numbers. So if you take $25,000 a year on an annual salary, times it by the 40 years that you're working on that job, ladies and gentlemen, $1 million will have passed through your bank account. No way, Nick. How is that possible? Well, we like to say, show them the numbers. The numbers don't lie. Terrence just showed you his numbers previously and on his personal testimony, right? But the problem is that we're facing is people are losing more money than they're keeping. So let's look at the bottom part and then we're going to move on. The top number represents the number of years that you've been working in your job, right? 5, 10, 15, 20. The bottom represents the number of hours. For example, if you've been working your job for 5 years, you have worked 10,000 hours, right? And I do want to put this out there because I say job a lot, right? We're not here to bash jobs. In fact, we say be grateful for your job, just never satisfied. But you got to understand that when you work a job, ladies and gentlemen, you're in what's called the highest tax bracket. And I'm going to go into that in just a second. But the number of hours that's how long you've been working your job. So the question I have for you, which is going to determine if you need to continue staying on this webinar, is if you can show $1, right? Find yourself on the scale, 5, 10, 15, 20. Can you show $1 for every hour that you worked? Not 2, not 3, $1. So if you've been working for 10 years, you should be able to go touch $20,000 without breaking the bank. All right, let's go ahead and move forward. Ladies and gentlemen, there is 2 financial objectives that every American should be striving to meet. So on your pen and your pad, write down the number 2, leave some space in between, the number 4, leave some space in between, and the number 3. The number 2 represents the 2 financial objectives that every American, I don't care what you do, whether you work a job, you own a business, or you do both, 2 financial objectives that everyone should be striving to meet. That's your current lifestyle, which is paid for by your labor. That's what we, go to work for, put food on the table, clothes on the back, take care of the family. The second objective is your future lifestyles, which should be paid for by your investments. But here's the problem, ladies and gentlemen. So many of us are struggling in our current lifestyle. Man, we're not even thinking about investing. Man, Nick, I'm living paycheck to paycheck. I don't have nothing left over to invest, right? You hear the big topic about the payroll taxes. We're going to talk about that later. More money is going to be put back in your paycheck, right? But just think about it. I'm barely making it in my current lifestyle. I'm not even thinking about investing in my future lifestyle. And there are 4 challenges that are keeping us from meeting those 2 financial objectives. So on the number 4, we're going to go over the challenges, right? Challenge number 1, the silent income killer, also known as inflation, right? And inflation, ladies and gentlemen, is simply the price of goods and services going up while the pay on your job is remaining the same. That's it. And the best example I can give you is at the gas pump, right? Let's back up 20 years ago, right? Take $20, let's go to the gas pump. Most of us probably got a full tank of gas, depending on the vehicle you're driving, right? Let's fast forward to today. Same $20, same green currency, same president. You're probably not even going to get a half a tank of gas. That's because the cost of goods and services went up. The value of the dollar went down, ladies and gentlemen. Challenge number 2, taxes, also known as the Chainsaw Massacre. And we should all be familiar with taxes, right? Because taxes, they just beat us up left and right. That's why we call it the Chainsaw Massacre. All right, and write this example down I'm gonna give you. And like I told you earlier, when you work a job, you're in the highest tax bracket, meaning you're paying the most amount of money in taxes. And the problem is, so many of us think that we have to pay taxes. Well, legally by law, not everybody has to pay taxes, but everyone must file taxes. So this is not a tax evasion conversation. This is a tax minimization conversation. So let's say you gross $50,000 a year, right? Gross and net. You ever had somebody ask you that? Hey, do you see a difference in what you gross and what you net? Heck yeah, it's a big difference because they're taking so much out of my paycheck. So if you gross $50,000 a year, 1/3 of that is going to go to taxes, 30%. So ladies and gentlemen, before you're even coming home and touching your money, you're down to 32,000. 18,000 just went to the government because you overpaid in taxes, right? Which is going to lead us to our 3rd challenge, which we call the curse, also known as debt. Because guess what? You're down to 32,000. I got to live that $50,000 lifestyle. So I got to go borrow the difference. I got to go put the 18,000 on credit cards and loans, right? But guess what? Anytime there's a loan involved, interest is involved. The banks, they don't know you. They don't love you. They're not going to give you that money for free, right? And write this down if you're taking notes. Interest is the penalty that you pay for the right to own something in advance that you cannot afford. I'll drink some water to that one. But just think about it. You went and put that 18,000 on credit cards and loans. Interest is tacked on. So guess what, ladies and gentlemen? That 18,000 is going to cost you anywhere from 20 to 24,000 when you pay it back. So now you're worse off before. Ask yourself this question. How much more money would you have if your debt was 0? Powerful question, right? So that's debt. Now the 4th and final challenge, and let me just back up a second because I forgot to tell you, I already told you taxes is taking your first 1/3 of your income, right? Debt is taking your second 1/3 of your income. I'm no mathematician, but if you're breaking it down into a pie, debt just took your second 1/3. Guess what? Big business takes your final 1/3. There's nothing left. Well, what is big business, Nick? Big business is big business for a reason because they get your wants to feel like your needs. They spend billions of dollars each and every year to get your money, to get you to spend your money with them. Think about it. When everybody got the stimulus checks, what did people do? Made bad cash ideal decisions. People went and bought TVs with a stimulus check instead of getting out of debt, instead of fixing their financial problems. That's because big business put the big TVs out there because they knew people that were coming in there with the wrong mindset. We're going to spend the money on the wrong things. I'll show you another example. We're in the month of September, right? Labor Day, right? Everybody just celebrated Labor Day. They brought the grills out. They went and, had family come out. Hopefully they practice social distancing. October, you got Halloween. November, usually just be Thanksgiving, family time, spending time with the family, eating good food. But now, we got Black Friday. Now they have Brown Thursday. So now they have even more reasons to get you to be away from your family, take the time away from your family to go spend money, right? And when you sit around all weekend, they've even incorporated Cyber Monday. So you can shop from the comfort of your home or your computer and spend money, right? December, you got Christmas, right? New Year's Eve. January, New Year's. February, Valentine's, you got to get the Mrs. or the Mr. something, right? March, you got spring break. April, you got Easter. May, you got Mother's Day, Memorial Day. June is Father's Day. July is 4th of July. August, kids are going back to school. And ladies and gentlemen, I didn't even mention graduations, birthdays, anniversaries. So just understand, and I'm not talking about being frugal and living a watered down lifestyle. We just have to have a better mindset when it comes to spending our money. Because again, big business spends billions of dollars each and every year to get you to spend your money with them. All right. So I know I talked about the dark, the bad, and the ugly. Let's go ahead and dive into what we call the solutions. But first, I got to get you to understand what makes us different. That's because we teach strategy over sales. There's nothing wrong with selling products, but not everybody can stay motivated and push products. But ladies and gentlemen, each and every one of you on here, you can duplicate the rules of the wealthy. And that's what you're about to learn today. We teach a concept called cash, asset, cash. So under the number 3 on your piece of paper, go ahead and write down cash, asset, cash. In 3 days or less, we're going to teach you how to generate some extra cash. In 6 weeks or less, we're going to show you how to buy, build, and grow an asset. You were the asset. Don't forget that. And then in 9 months or less, we're going to show you how to generate some more cash and become the bank. But first, I want y'all to read this. All right. I'm not going to read it entirely to insult your intelligence. I just got a couple little highlighted areas that I want to point out. It says more than 101 million taxpayers got refunds. And yeah, this is backdated to 2005. So just imagine how much this has grown. 101 million taxpayers got refunds. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm no English major, but let me break it down for you. Re means again, and fund is your money. I'm here to tell you that a tax refund is your money given back to you taxed twice. Boom. Think about it. They tax it when they take it out of your paycheck. And guess what? They're going to tax it again before they cut you the check. All right. Pay attention to the last sentence, right? Down at the very bottom. The IRS is telling you this now, not Nick Woodard, not Financial Blueprint Academy, the IRS. Putting the money in any type of savings account or paying down your debts might be a better option. So why not do what the IRS is telling us, right? So let's talk about the number 3, cash flow management, right? We're talking about the philosophy of I work, I pay taxes, and I spend, right? So when you work a job, you're in the highest tax bracket. You're paying anywhere from 28 to 33% in taxes. So you're working, you're paying taxes, and you're spending whatever's left over. But we all know is nothing. There's nothing left over, especially if you're living paycheck to paycheck, right? So in 3 days or less, we're going to teach you how to generate some extra cash flow. First, the person that, enrolls you, helps you get started, they're going to sit down with you and teach you, all right? Because we believe in empowering and exposing, empowering, and educate. So you're going to revisit the W-4 form. That's the form on your job, that you filled out when you tell your employer how much federal taxes you want taken out your paycheck. But ladies and gentlemen, most people that work a job have that form filled out wrong. I was once like that too, because I did not know any better. So we're going to show you how to revisit the W-4 form and correctly fill it out and legally lower your taxes. That's going to get your cash flow up. Then remember I asked you earlier, how much more money would you have if your debt was 0? We're going to take the new cash flow. Remember I told y'all about how I had the government pay off my debt? That's exactly how it's going to happen. Because the way we look at it, ladies and gentlemen, is the government forced you to overpay taxes. So shouldn't they foot the bill for your debt? So we're going to take the new cash flow and put it towards your debt. Now your cash flow is going to go up again. Then we're going to talk about minimizing your expenses. I'm not talking about living a watered down lifestyle, but just think about it. You got a gym membership, and I'm actually experiencing this myself because I'm building an in-home gym because I wanted to cut down my expenses. So I had a $50 gym expense every month. I'm no longer paying. Guess what? That's $600 that I'm putting back into my household. So we get the expenses down. Your cash flow is going to go up. And we do have a credit repair do-it-yourself software. You're going to hear from one of the leaders coming up next, man. And his testimony is crazy. Him and his wife's credit scores have jumped into like the 830s based off of this system. So I'm not going to talk about it too much, but we all know the importance of why having good credit, right? Good credit lowers the interest rate, so you keep more of the money you're going to pay. When you have jacked up credit, you're going to have a higher interest rate, which is going to cost you more money. So when you fix that credit score, guess what? Your cash flow is going to go up. So all in all, we get the taxes down, we get the debt down, we get the expenses down, get the credit score up, your cash flow is going to go up, ladies and gentlemen. Let's move on to the strategy number 2, right? This is the asset. Remember, I told you, you were the asset. Never forget that, all right? And we're talking about becoming a home-based business owner, right? Well, Nick, what's the business? a financial educator. You were educating people. You were getting paid to manage your own finances. We should be doing that anyways, right? So think about it. Simply by becoming a home-based business owner, your tax liability drops down to 18 to 23%. And check out the philosophy behind being a business owner. I work my business, I spend money on my business, and then I pay taxes. So essentially, when you become a home-based business owner, you're telling the government, hey, I started a business. I'm gonna work my business, I'm gonna spend money on my business, I'm gonna pay y'all taxes on the back end, right? And remember the example I gave you earlier of the $50,000, right? You're gonna pay $18,000, you're coming home with $32,000. This person here has $18,000 in bills, so they're living off $14,000 prior to owning a home-based business. Okay, let's shift the script. You become a home-based business owner. You get to write off your lifestyle, ladies and gentlemen. Write off the square footage of your home, percentage of your cell phone bill. We like to call this anyway money, right? Because you're gonna pay for these bills anyways. So why not start a home-based business and write these off? Percentage of your utilities, meals, travel, right? Because again, this too will pass. So we will be traveling, business miles. So this person started a home-based business, same 50,000, same 18,000 in bills, 32,000 that they're gonna net. But because they started a home-based business, they only paid 7,000 in taxes on the net. Now they're living off 25,000. They saved $11,000 a year and gave themselves a $900 a month pay raise. And you're gonna hear from a lady at the very end of my presentation on how these strategies have actually helped her as well. I know y'all probably wondering, all right, Nick, man, this information is making sense, but I know there's an investment. I'm glad you said investment, because most people say, well, what's it gonna cost me? Yeah, it's gonna cost you, but it's an investment. It's not $6.99, it's not $3.99, it's not $2.99. It's a one-time investment of $29.95. And 30 days later, if you choose to keep the membership, it's just $34.95 a month, ladies and gentlemen, $1.17 a day. Now we do have products, right? You know, because your membership is more than just a business. You can sell products, but ladies and gentlemen, think about it. If people don't have money right now, they're not going to have any money to purchase any products. So we teach you the strategies on how to put more money back in your pocket, right? You know, ID Defender, Cash Flow Manager, you're going to see a training on that. I just told you about the credit guru who's going to get on there and talk about it. And we have a new travel membership that I'm going to dive into here in a second, right? Cashback Mall, we got our own hand sanitizer, right? But check this out, new product alert, right? Travel membership. I'm not going to talk about it too long, but I do want to throw this out there because like I mentioned earlier, this too will pass. We will be traveling. We are producers and not consumers. So we do like to get together several times out the year and just celebrate our success. I mean, you work hard for it, right? You built the business. You got to celebrate, ladies and gentlemen. So we do travel. Why not just travel and write off your travel? You're a business owner, write off your travel. Get discounted prices up to 70%. And it's just $44.95 for the first year, $89.95 if you wanted to renew after the year after that. But once you enroll and you start working the strategies, this is a product that I encourage you to invest in. All right. Now let's talk about the Cash Flow Manager, because we have someone who's going to go more in depth, but it's an app. It's an app and it's available via desktop. So don't go download it now and put it on your phone, but it's the Cash Flow Manager, right? Because as a home-based business owner, the IRS does mandate that you keep good records, right? And it's just that simple. So no more shoebox receipts, no more QuickBooks, no more Excel spreadsheets. The software is provided for you, right? All you do is you upload your expense, right? It creates the Excel spreadsheet. So all you do at the end of the year, ladies and gentlemen, you just print the PDF off, give it to your tax preparer, lower your tax liability. The wealthy are doing it. We're teaching y'all how to do it, all right? And we also do have a world-class compensation plan, right? We like to call this adding fuel to the fire. These are going to be 3 monies, right? Because it just makes sense. If you have financial goals, and you're learning how to improve your finances, why not share it with your circle? Why not share it with those around you? Because I'm sure if the tables were turned and your circle knew about this information on how to improve your finances, they will probably share it with you, right? But ladies and gentlemen, these are 3 monies. Remember that. We do have weekly payouts every Friday, cash flow email, right? You personally enroll somebody into the business. Somebody joins your business, right? You're helping them fix their finances. You get $25 of upfront weekly money, right? That happens through Infinity. Then you have leverage income, right? And see, a lot of people say, well, leverage income, when we were kids, I'll give you an example. We always said teamwork makes the dream work, right? But for some reason, when we get older, we kind of throw that out the window, right? Wealth building is a team sport. So for everyone that joins your team and you build wealth, you help them, they're helping you, you're growing a team. You got $8.50 on each team enrolling, right? Because think about it. Everyone has a cell phone bill, right? I know I pay for my cell phone to turn it on one time. And I have a cell phone bill each and every month. But my provider, AT&T, they understand leverage income because they charge me one time to turn my phone on. And I have to pay them every single month to keep my phone on. They understand leverage income. So it just makes sense for us to do the same, ladies and gentlemen. And then the third money is residual income, right? Up to $8.50 of residual monthly income for every active membership, right? Residual income is going to take some people off their jobs because think about it. We have residual bills, so why not generate some residual income to pay for those residual bills? I like to make the picture, kind of paint the picture a little bit better, show y'all the numbers. Let's just say you got 10 people to join your team on a weekly basis. That's $250 of weekly pay, right? Weekly commission. $500 a year, that's $4,250 of monthly residual. Some people's bills are half of that. You will no longer have to work a job if you choose, right? Some people just want to work a job just to have something to do. 60 weekly enrollees, that's $1,500 of weekly pay, ladies and gentlemen. That's $25,500 of monthly residual. That's just to give you a perspective to show you the vision of how far you can go with building this business, right? Weekly commissions, residual income, and an income shift to membership that's going to pay you for managing your own money and helping people do the same. All right, so as I get ready to close, let's talk about the strategy number 3. In 9 months or less, we're going to talk about becoming the bank, right? But first, we must understand the difference in wholesale investing and retail investing, right? See, most of us, we probably have our money sitting in the bank, right? Because that's what we were taught. That's what I was taught in the beginning. Hey, put your money in the savings account, right? You're getting maybe 1%, maybe 2% return on your money, right? But guess what? The banks are taking your money and investing your money and getting wholesale returns because the banks are growing off your money. Everybody thinks that the banks are wealthy, but the banks are only as wealthy as the people's money that's in them. So why not become the bank and take your money and put your money into the money market and get those double-digit returns, anywhere from 8 to 16%. That's where people like Warren Buffett, Robert Kiyosaki, Tyler Perry, Oprah Winfrey are making their money, right? Because look at it, the tax bracket is 15% or less. You pay the least amount of taxes on your investment income. And guess what? My money works. I reinvest my money and then my money is taxed, right? Appreciations, dividends, and capital gains. But ladies and gentlemen, remember this. At the end of the day, the best investment that you can ever make is investing in yourself, all right? We do have the training and support, right? Because once you get started, you have the support, right? We have weekly cash flow calls, strategy sessions, webinars like what you're on right now. But ladies and gentlemen, the best investment you can ever make is in yourself. With a $29.95 one time and a $34.95 a month, you got the strategy, you got the software, you got the system, which is going to lead to your success, and it's all tax deductible. So we usually have 2 types of people. We have a number 2 and we have a number 1. A number 2 says, hey, Nick, man, I want the strategies, I want the system, I want the software, but right now I'm really just focused on getting my finances in order. Hey, cool. Hey, let the person know that invited you to today's webinar that you're number 2, you're ready to get your username and password, and I want to be the first to welcome you to the team. Number 1 says, hey, Nick, man, I'm in. I want the strategies. I want the system. I want the software. I want it all. I want to build a business. I want to make an impact. I want to share this information. Cool. Let the person know that invited you to today's webinar, know that you're ready to get started. You're number 1. You're ready to get your username and password, and I want to be the first to welcome you to the team. And I want to leave y'all with this, ladies and gentlemen. If $29.95 is something we have to question about, we have to pray about, or we even have to think about, just ask yourself this question. How long am I going to allow myself to have a $29.95 problem? At this time, before I pass it back over to my mentor, Mr. Terrence Hill, I have a young lady on here who's hailing out of the great state of Missouri, Miss Marla Davis. Can you hear me, Miss Marla?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. I appreciate you jumping on. Ladies and gentlemen, real quick, Miss Marley, she's having a ton of success. She is sharing this information with a whole lot of people, but she's going to share with you real quick what her life was like before My Econ and what her life is like now that she's a part of My Econ. So, Miss Davis, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, Nick. It's been wonderful working with you. You've been such a great mentor. Well, before My Econ, I was just working my job, working another business. I tuned into My Econ because my friend Charlene, she's like, hey, I'm doing all this financial stuff. Check it out. So I just really just got on just to support her. I was a number 2 person, as you say. And after watching the webinar, I said, I might want to get in on this. So I became a number 1. The first strategy I used was the W-4 tool. Never knew nothing about that. Been working on my job 16 years. I thought that your taxes was just your taxes. That's what comes out. So I went in, adjusted my W-4, and found out that I had an extra $100 a month. So that's $1,200. Well, yeah, $1,200 a year coming back into my household. So there's just one strategy that I use that has been very helpful so far. And hey, if you're on this line and you're confused, join us. You'll learn so much about that and so much about money management. And that's all I have to say today, Nick.
Yes, hey, Ms. Marla, thank you so much. That's a powerful testimony. And I know somebody here can probably relate to that. But $100 a month pay raise, she's doing just what the IRS says. Pay down your debts is a better option. And that is exactly what she's doing. I can't wait to see the success and what these strategies are going to continue to do for you, Ms. Marla. Thank you for jumping on and sharing that powerful testimony. Hey, Mr. Terrence Hill, I'm going to go ahead and get out of the way. I appreciate you for letting me jump on and share this education. And the floor is yours, sir.
Oh, man, awesome job, Nick. Hey, thank you for teaching us, because I was taking notes too, man. Thank you so much. Congratulations, Miss Davis, on your cash flow success, okay? And congratulations, and keep using the system. I promise you, it works, okay? And ladies and gentlemen, you just witnessed from Strategy 1, Miss Davis, and I want to tell everybody, right? Make it all the way through to the investment side. You know, Nick taught you how we start off with cash flow management and you grow and build your asset, okay? And then start investing. So continue to go through the financial transformation, because one thing Nick just stated, and it's very powerful, ladies and gentlemen, as I let the next presenter get ready to come up, and he's going to blow your mind with this credit program. But residual income, that is what I found out to secure your retirement. See, that is what's going to give you a financial peace of mind, the peace of mind that you deserve, ladies and gentlemen. See, it's all about how you thinking about money, right? See, teamwork makes the dream work. And as you see right now, look at how Miss Davis, Nick helping her. See, because he's going through the transformation and he's sharing it. Creating wealth is a team sport, all right? So for everybody who's listening and on here right now, okay, first of all, let me just let you know, it's okay, all right? Don't feel discouraged. Don't feel intimidated, okay? Don't feel overwhelmed. It's okay if you're not where you want to be financially right now. That's perfectly fine. Why is that fine? Because Right now, the old you, how you used to think about money up to the date, that's what got you to where you are right now. So starting today, going forward, you learning how to become somebody new and think different about money, you're going to start manifesting that money, and it's going to start coming to you, okay? Like I tell people, man, if you probably haven't experienced this, but if the lights ever been shut out in your house, they just shut it off the day that you stop making the payment. See, if you are financially hurt now, it's because of the past, okay? So we're not going to stay in the past. We're going to hurry up and bring you to the future, and we're going to help you start increasing your cash flow and understanding it today. So without any further ado, right, I want to bring up the next gentleman, right? You heard Nick mention him. This guy here, I like to call him the, he's the credit guru, all right? Now this gentleman right here, the Financial Freedom Family, I'm talking about his entire family. I think they all in 800 Credit Club. But what I love and respect so much about this gentleman, he really understands that, yeah, cash flow is king, but credit is what gives you the power, okay? So without any further ado, I like to bring my brother, you know, he's straight from Georgia as well, but he hailing from San Antonio, and he will share with you his success testimony, but I know he is in the 800 Club. Without any further ado, lights, camera, and action. Mr. Chauncey Reed from San Antonio, the floor is yours.
Hey, can you hear me? All
Hear you
right.
loud and clear, brother.
All right, man. Hey, man. Hey, first and foremost, man, I gotta give a shout out back to you, man, for just, for one, sharing this information with me, because when we talk about getting out of debt and everything like that, and that snowball effect, man, that thing even rolls over into your credit. Now, I'm gonna share a quick little testimony about myself. I'm retired military as well, and when I retired, man, how my partner used to say, "Hey, my money funny and my credit can't get it." But man, once I was exposed to this information, man, at this time right now, man, my wife is 11 points away from an 850 credit score based off of this system right here. My daughter is I think I checked today, it was like 765. And she's only had a credit score for a little over a month now. So when I say, man, this credit program is amazing, man, it's just that, hands down. And what you want to say easy, man, please. It's too easy, y'all. But hey, without further ado, man, I'm finna share my screen with you. All right, here. Can y'all see my screen?
Yep, we can see it, Chauncey.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so hey, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about this credit repair program here, man. Hey, when I say it's this easy, most people really just don't understand that. See, there are truly 5 components to your credit score. All right, when we say 5 components, ladies and gentlemen, most people focus on the one component, and that's payment history. That's, hey, pay your bills on time and you good. But see, here's the problem with that. That only accounts for 35% of your credit score, ladies and gentlemen. Now, like I say, I'm a Georgia boy. My math ain't the best, but there's still another 65% out there that you got to work on. And last I checked, 65% is much higher than 35%. All right. So most of us, we understand the payment history. The thing is too, a lot of credit repair companies out there, they only focus on the 35% of your credit. So what I love about this is we focus on the overall score, the whole score, and not just the 1% there, that one part of your credit history. All right. So now let's talk about the second part of your credit, which is credit utilization. All right. This accounts for 30% of your score. So if you see that, it's just as much counted here as it is with your payment history. Now, if you don't understand what credit utilization is it measures the amount of the credit limit that you are actually using. So let me give you an example here. Okay, let's say that you got a credit card with $1,000 limit on it. All right. If you use $300 of that credit card, ladies and gentlemen, you are already utilizing 30% of that credit utilization. Ladies and gentlemen, and most people will tell you that when it comes to credit utilization, oh yeah, man, if you don't go over just 30%, you good. Ladies and gentlemen, hey, if you really want to make your score shoot up, you want to go under 30%. All right. So that's credit utilization. Next, let's talk about credit history. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, this is 15% of your overall score. Now, that 15% is based off of this right here, the length of your credit history. So this is truly how long you actually was able to have credit history. It's powerful for you, ladies and gentlemen, because of course, the longer the history, the better off it is. And what I love about this is the fact that, hey, this credit repair system utilizes strategies that will allow you to help you with all 5 factors. Okay, so next, let's talk about the next 10%, which is new credit. Ladies and gentlemen, it is just that. Now, we don't only just show you how to reestablish your credit or good credit, but what we also do is teach you how to also build new credit. And then last but not least, we talk about the last 10%, which is credit mix. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you gotta have a good mixture of credit. When we talk about the mixture of credit here, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about revolving debt versus installment debt. Now, when it comes to revolving debt and installment debt, understand that revolving debt are things like your credit cards, okay? And installment debts are things that have a time limit on it, i.e. like your car and your mortgage, right? Once you pay them off, ladies and gentlemen, they done. What you got to understand though is the fact that when it comes to your credit score, revolving debt is the thing that overall really impacts your credit score the most. So I've already said this right here. Improve your credit by focusing on the whole score. That's what we do here, ladies and gentlemen. We don't do like a lot of companies and focus on just your payment history. Now, if you don't know this, it tends to happen too. What we learned as we age, our credit scores tend to go up. All right, we tend to, and most of it is based off of our actual financial responsibility. We become more responsible, right? So we got to understand this. The credit ranges from 750. Well, your credit ranges actually from 350 to 850. Okay, now. And right here, man, this is just like when you was going to school and you got that progress report, right? You got your report card. Ladies and gentlemen, these are how credit companies are these are how companies are looking at you when you want to borrow money from them, ladies and gentlemen. So what we show you is right here, excellent credit being 750 to 850. That's an A. That's your A, almost A plus, depending on where you're sitting at in there, right? Then you have your good credit, which is between 700 and 749. Right there, ladies and gentlemen, you got you a B. All right. Then you have your fair credit, which is a 650 to 699. Ladies and gentlemen, you sit with a C. All right. You sit with a C. That's where they grade you at. Now, this is how the companies are looking at you to say, hey, when you go get a car and you want to get something financed, they say, okay, well, wait a minute. Let's see what your grade report look like. All right. Same thing with a house. They're looking at your grade report. Okay, next, poor credit, 600 to 649. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you have a D, all right? And then bad credit, ladies and gentlemen, from 350 to 599. You straight up have an F. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about that one, okay? So we got to understand this. Poor credit is often the result of a lack of income. Now, you just heard what Nick shared with you, right? Hey, now, man, with this system, you don't only just are able to income shift, but now you're also able to increase your income. You heard Miss Davis share that powerful testimony. Ladies and gentlemen, right there, what would that do to your life? Now, what we do here is we focus on, we share with you 4 primary letters for disputing payment history. because we understand that's what most people get tied up at. So we break it down for you right here, okay? The first thing we talk about is the debt validation letter. Now, when it comes to this debt validation letter, you have to understand that under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, the credit repair agencies, they have to actually validate that the debt that you are disputing is yours. They have to validate this, ladies and gentlemen. All right. You can't just go off their word, because everybody knows somebody out there that might, hey, their word ain't that good. All right. It's the same thing with them. You want them to validate that. Now, we understand too that sometimes they won't do it. So now we go to the next letter, a method of verification letter. See, the credit repair agencies proof of verification here. So the thing is, we want them to show us proof. We're not just taking their word. We're not taking their word, ladies and gentlemen. We want them to show us proof of they actually validated who it was, when it was, by what system they did it by. Ladies and gentlemen, we want proof. Now, the next letter, let's say that, hey, they still don't want to abide by the law, because everything we're talking about here today, ladies and gentlemen, is moral, legal, and ethical. Okay. So right now, if they don't do that, they are violating our Fair Credit Reporting Right Acts. Okay. They are violating our rights. So see, basically, if these credit repair agents do not provide proof, then according to the law, they must remove the items. Okay. Now let's say that, man, they still playing around and they don't want to do what they are legally supposed to do. Now we hit them with an intent to litigate letter. All right. Now we let them know that we are informing them that if they don't provide the method of verification, that you will take action to sue them due to the violation of your Fair Credit Reporting Act rights. Okay. So, and it don't stop there, because a lot of people get out there and they tend to think that, oh man, yeah, I got letters, so I'm good. It doesn't stop there, ladies and gentlemen. Notice I told you now, that's 35%, but you got to focus on the other 65%. So what we do is, ladies and gentlemen, we also show you how to lower your credit utilization by, one, increasing your available credit, or by reducing your debt. Okay. See, we're going to go one or two ways with that, ladies and gentlemen. And that right there, you'll be surprised how much that'll impact your score. Man, we've had testimonies where people's credit scores have went up, I think 100+ points within 30 days, within 10 days. These type of things like this is happening because of the strategies that are available to you with the system. See, you got to understand that when you have a system, man, you just follow the system and you win it. You don't have to worry about, am I going to do this? Am I going to do that? Follow the system and you win. Now, you got to understand this too, ladies and gentlemen. It's all underneath an income shifting strategy. Okay. Now, this right here, it helps you lower your credit utilization by using 4 components. All right. 4 components still, ladies and gentlemen. The first one, you heard Nick talk about it earlier, right? Correct the tax withholding. Okay. Because you understand that over 80% of Americans had that form filled out completely wrong. And see, here's the crazy part. Most people say, well, hey, I'm not working a job, but I'm receiving a pension, or I'm receiving some type of other benefits in some way, form, or fashion. Ladies and gentlemen, as long as you're getting taxed, you got to correct this form. Okay, so I want to make sure you understand that misconception there. Next thing, you heard him talk about, I hit 2 of them, it's all good. Building business income. Here we go. We'll just hit them all. Building business income. Ladies and gentlemen, this will allow you to speed up your debt elimination process and or the investment part of the house. Ladies and gentlemen, this ain't nothing but what we're doing is, hey, we lighten your pathway up to financial freedom. And now when you have this system here, ladies and gentlemen, and when you start doing building business income, man, we're just throwing lighter fluid on it. So we blazing that path for you. Next thing, you got to make sure what you always have to understand, ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't matter what you're doing. They say the best savings is tax savings. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't believe me, this strategy right here, man, you can write off your entire lifestyle. I'm talking about everything. Everything. Man, hey, I'll put it to you like this, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, morally, legally, and ethically, you able to write off all kind of stuff. Hey, my kids, you probably seen one or both of them walking in the background. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard what Nick was talking about with that? Man, able to pay their wages on things that they're going to do anyway. Okay, the anyway type of bills are the things where you end up find yourself putting back at minimum about $5,000 back in your pocket. I'm talking about for right now, you online, hey, internet, cell phone, right? Hey, possibly your computer. Ladies and gentlemen, that's how things work, and that's how you got to understand the best savings is tax savings. Now, and then the last one here, ladies and gentlemen, is the debt elimination. I wanna share this with you, and I hope you understand this. When you have this income shifting strategy, okay, it gives you a financial GPS in order for you to get out of debt, period. We talk about they give you a debt-free date. Ladies and gentlemen, if you do not have a debt-free date, guess what? You need an income shifting strategy. If you don't know when your debt-free date is, you need an income shifting strategy. I can tell you right now, mine is a little under 6 years right now. And I'm trying to change that. And we want the same for you. All right. Next thing we'll talk about, if you notice, we say this a little bit towards the end, is because we talk about becoming an authorized user. Ladies and gentlemen, this is on a relative's or a friend's credit card who has a history of on-time payments, could potentially allow you to inherit their good credit history. These are things what you want to do for people in your family or your children when, guess what? Hey, they get out of school and they don't have no credit. Ladies and gentlemen, it's hard. It's hard right there. But I'm telling you, just this strategy alone can boost your score up to the 760s. Just saying. I know personally, because I told you, like I shared with you earlier, about my daughter. She went from having no credit to a 760, and not only just a 760, but she was able to also get her own vehicle on her own. We don't do co-signers in here, ladies and gentlemen, but that is an option. Okay. Now, boom. Next thing we talk about is trade lines. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, trade lines, man, when we talked about building new credit, you can do, we talk about 4 different types right here. All right, I'll drop them on down in there for you. Department store cards. Anytime you go to a department store, what they're going to try to ask you, they want to ask you, do you want to apply for this card? Sure or no, right? Understand that option is out there for you. All right. But now if your score, if your score isn't too bad, okay, depending on where you're at on the grade, on what your progress report look like, all right, your credit progress report, whatever that thing look like, ladies and gentlemen, that's what you got to be prepared for. Okay. Next is we talk about secure credit cards. Now, this one here, ladies and gentlemen, is the fact that you're going to put anywhere, usually they range about anywhere from $500 to $1,000 on here. And now you use that to help you build your credit. I mentioned about the cosigner, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, most people understand about cosigning, right? There's some heartaches out there about them and other things like that, okay? But that is an option. And the last option that we talk about here, that we're going to talk about today is the credit builder loan. Okay, understand this, ladies and gentlemen. What happens here is the banks, they open up a CD for you, all right, in your name. Now, in this case, let's say you didn't have that $500 to $1,000 to get you a secured credit card. So now you can go this route and get that credit builder loan, right? Now, they open up in your name, right? The bank will freeze that CD and then they'll charge you monthly. What happens next is once you have paid that $5,000 to $1,000 back on that CD, now it's yours. What I love about this is the fact that, hey, the credit builder loan builds your credit and it helps you establish an emergency fund. Now, last but not least, I mentioned this earlier with the credit mix, ladies and gentlemen, was about installment debt, which are things like your car loan, mortgage loan, and then your revolving debt, all right, which is your credit card type loans. But see, now, what I want to do real quick, though, I'm going to stop Okay, let me share this with you, because most people like, man, come on, it can't be that easy. So what I want to do is I want to give you a little preview, okay, of what you get with your membership when it comes to the credit repair. All right. Now, you see right here, income shifting membership. I'm not going to talk about all the other things that come inside there, ladies and gentlemen, because we have our other amazing financial instructors, all right, that will be sharing that with you. But I do want to go into this credit repair system real quick. Okay. All right, here we go. Now you get your introduction, you get your 750 credit plan. That's ladies and gentlemen, this is where the magic begins. Just where the magic begins. Right here. Ladies and gentlemen, we have 12 modules, okay? 12 modules. We give you an introduction on how to break it down for you. We show you how to get your credit report. We show you how to get your free credit reports. We show you how to read your actual credit report. You got to understand these, ladies and gentlemen, because most people will pull up their credit report and they don't see nothing but a bunch of words, okay? We show you how to dispute these items. The magic one that most people always want to know about is how to remove negative payment history. Okay. Hey, I'm gonna give you a peek into that, ladies and gentlemen. Next, we have how to reduce the credit utilization, how to add credit history, how to properly, keyword there, properly apply for new credit. Because, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't have the proper grade report or the grade on your grade report, ladies and gentlemen, man, please, you're gonna go get denied on a lot of this stuff. So we don't want you to do that. Next, how to get credit mixture, how to check disputes, the income shifting module, and then to sum it all up. We have it here for you. But what I want to do is I want to peek in here on module 5. Want to peek in here on module 5. All right. Now, removing stuff. Remember those letters we talked about? They're right here, ladies and gentlemen. They're right here. You got PDF form, you got Word document form, right? We talk about things like statute of limitations, how to remove IRS tax liens, how to remove medical collections, right? Man, especially right now in this day and age, what's going on? A lot of people are probably going to be headed that route. So you got to be able to combat that, ladies and gentlemen. You got to be able to combat poverty. You got to make sure that you understand this. Debt validation letter. So what I'm going to do as well, I'm going to share one more thing, and I'm going to get up out of here because I know my time is coming short. All right. I want to open up this dispute letter real quick, just so you can see how simple this thing is. Okay. Look, it's this powerful, ladies and gentlemen. It is this powerful. I want you to see this. Okay. Dispute letter number. You see that in red? Guess what? That's all you got to fill out. Hey, this is information you know right now. And next, guess what? You put your creditor information in there. Boom, you win it. Now, oh man, you sign it, you get it notarized, and now you send it off with certified mail. Ladies and gentlemen, that's just how simple this process is. Now, hey man, woo. Boy, okay, with that being said, man, thank y'all all for your time. Terrence, man, I'm finna shoot it right back to you, fam.
Hey man, thank you so much. And that is that's a credit guru right there on the team, man. And he's leading the organization, and they are building, and they are helping other people build their credit score as well. So congratulations, Chauncey, man. Your wife is almost at the 850. Woo! That is very, very impressive. So ladies and gentlemen, see, that's why it's so important that you must have a strategy for your money. And if you're taking notes, just write this down, okay? If you don't have a strategy for your own money, someone else does, okay? So you definitely should want to fight harder for your own money, especially in the credit. Once your credit score is up, all that interest, guess what? You get to keep it and pocket it. That will improve and increase your cash flow. If you got a low credit score, you are giving away your wealth. Listen to the strategies. Correct your W-4, your tax withholding. Build some income because you learned some knowledge, ladies and gentlemen. Share it, right? Reduce your taxes. Debt elimination is the key, okay? That is very important. debt elimination is the key and is very, very important. So real quick, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, I guess, share the next class with you, right? And the next class is we're going to show you how debt is robbing you of your wealth, okay? How debt is robbing you of your wealth, okay? So if anybody taking notes, my financial mentor shared this with me. And when he first shared it with me, it didn't make sense, but as I thought about it, it made perfect sense. We're going to talk about the bloody mess, right? My mentor said, Mr. Ivy Stokes, and he's the co-founder of MyEcon. He said, interest, ladies and gentlemen, is the penalty you pay for the right to own something in advance that you cannot afford. It's okay, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, it set on me too. But once you understand, get an understanding. Let math solve the problem. Let's just say, you know, this is me, right? Because this once was, and I owe $5,000 on debt, right? This is revolving debt, okay? Chauncey told you the difference between involvement debt and installment debt, right? And if you don't know the difference, it's okay. We're going to help you. But for this illustration, we're talking about the revolvement debt that you just, if you make installment payments, you don't have an end date, okay? And to be honest with you, they could care less if you ever pay it off because you're making them money, right? So let's just say this debt is $5,000, okay? Now, on this debt, we are paying $100 a month, right? Now, it has an interest rate, right, of 21%. A lot of people don't understand how this interest rate works. They just see 21%. And sometimes, if not most of the time, people get compound interest mixed up with simple interest. So let's see how this compounds monthly, right? In order to do that, we got to do the math, okay? I'm not great with math. We already did these numbers. We just took 21% and we know it's 12 months in a year. We keep everything simple, okay? We are not talking down. We just want to make it so people can understand, okay? So 21 divided by 12 is 1.75%, okay? So with that being said, me making these payments, right, every month, when you on a $5,000 loan, every time I send $100 in, right, $87.50 is going to the interest. The interest is the person who really owns, or not own, but the person who signed over the loan to you. Let's just say it could be a bank. It could be a what you call them place? Oh man, OPP, Omni loan, payday loan. See, it could be things like that, right? So every time you pay $87.50 towards interest, which is the bulk of the money, only $12.50 goes to the principal, right? Now, let's just do a reality check, right? If my loan is $5,000 and only $12.50 is going on the principal, it will take me 400 months to get out of that debt. And everybody know that the borrower is slave to the lender. Now let's look at your sentencing, right? A lot of people don't know what 400 months is, right? 400 months, right, divided by 12. Just do the math. That's 33 years. Now, when I was coming up, I had a few credit cards. Okay, we just talking about one. All right. So once you understand this, ladies and gentlemen, how you being robbed of your wealth, because the bank is earning the $87.50 every month, right? For those 400 months, that's $35,000 that the bank made off of you, the borrower. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that's why we want to say become the banks. That's why it's so important to become the banks and understand how they are robbing you of your wealth. It's just they know something that you don't know, right? So without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to share that with you to give you a perspective and hope that you will get an understanding and apply wisdom from all this knowledge that you're learning today so that you can stop giving your money to the entities. Notice I said giving your money to the entities that's so grateful and willingly to take it away from you. All right? Take back control of your finances. Okay? So without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, this next gentleman that I get to bring up, right? His topic is the number one asset, and you are your number one asset, right? And if no one else knows, I know this gentleman knows. Now, this gentleman, we call him the professor, and he hailing straight out the great state of Greenville, South Carolina. But me and him had a rapport, or have a rapport, been having it since the way back when I was a little kid. He took care of me from the same place. He was a success to me when he went and graduated from Georgia Tech. But what I didn't realize when he graduated from Georgia Tech, what happened and how he lost it all within 30 days. Okay, so when I'm talking about I'm talking about assets. So without any further ado, I got to bring my brother to the stage, Mr. Mike Holmes. Are you there? Light, camera, and action. I see you done took over the screen. The floor is yours, sir.
All right. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir. We hear you loud and clear.
Sounds good. I want to turn it right back over to Mr. Hill. I appreciate Terrence. Of course, I call him Mr. Hill because I do have such, I want to say, I don't know the words to put it together, because I was out there thinking one thing, and then he kept on steady with this process. So I want to turn everything back over to him. He's been an awesome mentor as well. So guys, we'll start from here. Let me make sure I can share with you all here. And okay, that's good. But what I want to do is I'm just let you know, of course, that I am Michael Holmes. I'm a proud MyEcon associate. But the biggest thing I want to share is this. I want to make sure you understand, before MyEcon, I had, like you said, a lot of training. I had understanding of business, so to say. Okay, I've been self-employed for almost 30 years now. I've been without a job for about 25 years. Okay, and so like a lot of people out there, you're probably thinking about, we're going through this pandemic, okay, and it's becoming an epidemic, okay. And it's unveiling a lot of things, a lot of problems that were already there, okay? And so what this is going to show you is what I have come to realize, because as I was being raised and shown, I brought my first property with my mother at the age of 18, almost 19 years old, okay? I'm 48 years old now, okay? And what I did was I understood how to create income. Okay, I understood that. I understood how to, get my LLC together. I understood how to, make sure I had this type of vendor credit. I understood how to get the right type of personal credit with the business to go ahead and acquire almost 62 houses over my lifetime, and had almost up to $4 million by 2006, 2007. Okay. And right around 2009, that's when, everybody knows, that's when the market dove. It just did awful things, okay? It was so awful that the banks had to be bailed out, okay? So you can imagine somewhere small like myself, okay? It took almost 30 days for me to lose almost $4 million in assets. in 62 different houses. Okay. So, you know, like I want to make sure you understand it's not about throwing money. It's not about creating more income. That's not going to solve the problem. That's what I realized. So I had to come back. I had to understand, and I had to go back to Mr. Hill to see, okay, hey, what's going on here? You know, where'd my money go? You know, and what I found out was that there was no foundation. You know, so just think about it. If you're the type of person that has that's taking notes, you know, write this down. You know, I am my number one asset. Okay. Now, when you look at that note and when you go back to look at that and when you look at it right now, I want you also to think about what has been my asset so far. What am I putting all my trust in to take me and my family onward? Okay. See, I put my trust into business. I put my trust into a job, and those things did not last. Okay. But when you understand the point of, if you have a vase, okay, and this vase has 5 or 6 holes at the bottom, and you constantly pouring money, right? Let's look at it, water. Okay. Water is like the money, currency, right? Flow. So if you do that and you're constantly pouring that into that vase, but you have holes at the bottom, how long does it take for you to fill that vase? Will the vase ever get filled? No. That's why you have to understand how to become your number one asset, so that you can plug up the holes. I had to understand how to plug up the holes. So next time, as I'm gathering my millions again, okay, and it's not something to impress or anything like that, because you need that type of income, right? If you're retiring right now and you're thinking about retiring and you don't have 10 to 15 times the amount of income that you want to have at retirement, right? If you think about $60,000 a year, right? And if you take that times 10, you got 600,000. Okay. And if you don't have that 600,000 and somewhere that's producing at least 8%, okay, you're not ready, you know, and I understood that. So what I had to understand is how to become my number one asset and make sure that I was in control. That's why I chose my econ, because I need to focus on my economy, not their economy. Everything is going crazy out there. Okay. So let's look at this. I'm going to populate this so you can see how you can become your number one asset. Okay. Now, if you look at it in front of you, you heard Mr. Nick say a couple of times, right, about the already money, okay, money that you're already using, already paying out, okay? That's like your mortgage. You see here, utilities, cell phone, a mileage, okay? These are things you know that you're writing down. If you're like me, every week, right? You're like some people, you're writing that every month, right? So you're writing these bills out, and every time you write it out, you notice it's 100% going out, right? But guess what? When you work, do you get 100% of that dollar? No, that never comes back to you, because they're zapping it. Okay, the federal government, number one, with the income taxes comes in, takes 28 to 32%, right? So therefore, you're not getting all of your money. So what we're going to show you how to do is take simply the already money. No pill, potion, lotion, wraps, teas, none of those things. Okay, not that there's something wrong with those, but once again, as I was explaining, it's not about the income. It's about the cash flow that produces our wealth. Okay, so we're going to show you how to create cash flow. Okay, so as you're looking at these things that you're already paying, wouldn't it be nice to get some of this back into your household? Okay, every day, every month, every week is going out. So wouldn't it be nice at some point in time to get this back into your household? When would be too soon to get it back into your household? Okay, let's show you how to do that right now. You know, you heard somebody tell you, I'm gonna take you from 0 to 1,000, right? Real quick, right? Now I'm gonna take you from 0 to 12,000, okay? Real quick. So let me show you how to do that. Okay, let's take your mortgage. And we're gonna show you by having a home-based business, which you would have, you know, once you have yourself enrolled into our system, you have your home-based business. With this home-based business, now you have lifestyle deductions or lifestyle write-offs. Your lifestyle that you're living, now you can write it off because you have a home-based business. Okay, so now your mortgage, let's say $1,000. We're just going with round numbers, okay, because most of us are paying more than $1,000 in mortgage. And we're going to use 20%. If you see in the middle of your screen there, that's what we're going to use as a portion of that to come back as a tax deduction, okay, as a write-off. Okay, so that means that $1,000 times 20%, $200 for the year It's $2,400, okay? Now, we're going down the same road, okay, with each one. And each one, we're gonna show you an approximate amount that you may be spending, or as an example, and then an example of the percentage that could be, because I'm not the tax preparer, I'm not the CPA or anything like that. So these are percentages, you know, and these are not actual could be's. Let me put it that way. These are could be's, okay? Could be a little bit more, could be a little bit less, all right? These are numbers that you need to find out for yourself, and we will help you with that, okay? Right, so utilities, $500, and 20% of that, it's $100, $1,200 a year, okay? Cell phone, $100. Now, that's a little bit more, because guess what? You're probably watching this right now on your cell phone, okay? Sometimes, you know, you may be doing, a lot of people are doing the Zooms right now, what you see, for other businesses and those types of things. So it could be 85%, could be a little bit more, who knows, right? But we're using 85%. So that's $85, $1,020 for the year. Mileage, we're going to go with $10,000 for mileage, okay? And this is your business miles. You know, you're driving to and fro to actually explain to individuals about helping them with their finances, okay? It could be just your business, but we'll explain that. I want to go into details with that. But mileage is anywhere between 56 cents or 58 cents. You know, once again, this is our estimates, okay? That ends up $5,600 for the year, right? Meals and entertainment. Right. I had a friend of mine, an associate, there's a My Econ associate, sat down and actually talked to her husband. And they mentioned the great benefits of having tax write-offs to the waitress, okay? At that point in time, now that is a write-off, okay? So now at 50%, $100, that's $1,200 for the year, okay? How much of this would be going out of your household, you know, without these types of write-offs, okay? So in your internet service, 100%, $50 a month, $600 for the year, okay? The already money. Let's get some of that back into our household, okay? You have multiple bills going out. So let's get some of that residually coming back in, okay? Each one of these is another set of money coming back into your household, right? Because when you get your tax savings, right, it's a whole dollar. If you save $1 in taxes, that's a complete dollar that you're getting. But if you work right now for $1 at your job, so to say, not with batching jobs should be financing your purpose or your, you know, your passion, okay? So if you're working at your job, you give them 100%. But they're taking 28, 32% before you even know it. And now they say that you are uninformed. So therefore they say, hey, we're going to calculate this for you. And if you show us that you have good enough information, you know, presented to us, then we'll give you a portion of that. They're not going to give you 28 to 32% back, okay? So what we want to do is use that now. Okay, so now we're going to show you with that, you have a $12,020 as a year of your write-offs, okay? Those are your total deductions. And we're going to wrap that up to $12,000, okay? We're going to just round it off into even numbers so we can all work with that, okay? So what I want you to see is this, that, hey, Mike, you know, I noticed that I'm writing these bills every week, every month. So yeah, I do think that it's smart for me to start getting some of this back into my household. We're going to show you exactly how to do that because I agree with you, okay? So let's look at that, right? So we're having write-offs of $12,000. Number one, what's going to happen is because this money was saved, right? Therefore, there is federal taxes that's not going to be what? Taxed onto that $12,000. So therefore, you are positive $3,600. That's 30% of the $12,000. That's actual coming back to you, okay? That you did not have to spend, okay? So you're now positive $3,600, right? And what have you spent? We're going to go there, okay? Now look at it. Again, we're going to tell other people because if you or somebody in your circle saw this particular system and what we were doing, showing you how to get your money back, I'm sure they would tell you about it, right? So as you tell others about it, guess what's going to happen? That could create for you an extra, what, couple $100 a month, okay? Very easily, we can show you how to do that. That's $2,400 for the year, okay? So total $6,000 that you've created, okay, from your number one asset, okay? So look at this. $3,600 positive. 2,400 created for helping others. Of course, $6,000. How many other options are there that you could create $6,000? Okay, I've shown you how you can create $6,000 from just your already money. Let's look at it and see what other already money you may have that can create for you a $6,000. Okay, maybe you have $600,000 sitting somewhere, right, of already money. You can sit that into somewhere and get 1%. And 1% can give you $6,000, right? I didn't have it at the time. I lost everything, right? So if you have 600,000, great. We can show you how to put that, or you can put that in somewhere returning 1%. Maybe you have 200,000 of already money, okay? You can put that into a 3%. That'll give you $6,000, right? So do you have $200,000 of already money? I didn't either. Right? So you say, yeah, okay, great, no problem. Let's show other people as well. Now, maybe you have $100,000 of already money, right? Put that in somewhere with a 6% return. That'll create for you $6,000 as well, okay? So these are some already money also that you can create $6,000. Or you can take already money that you have, start your home-based business, get yourself enrolled into a MyEcon in our system, okay? $29.95, $34.95 a month. And then now that creates for you that $6,000. So your already money can create the $6,000. So that's what I wanted to show you guys is that, hey, your already money is your number one asset applied between here, okay? And here, your business is your number one asset. And what we said before, we talk about strategies and not sales, not your pills, potions, lotions, wraps, or teas, not your real estate, not any of those things. Sometimes you think of something larger. I just need something bigger to make more money, right? But if the holes are not taken care of, then you're creating a bigger mess. So guys, I just want to turn this right back over to Mr. Hill. And if you guys listen to the rest of our financial coaches, and they will definitely lead you in the right direction. Thank you.
Awesome job, the professor. In and out, straight to the point, guys. That's when you know, like how Mike just delivered, he's living it. See, that's what I love about this organization right here and the MyEcon family. The people who teach it, they can only teach what they learn and what they know. You can feel the passion, you can feel the energy to know when you get to a point in your life when you're like, man, I'm sick or tired of being sick and tired. And see, that's what all of us had got to, the point where we just was sick and tired of being sick and tired. Mike said something very powerful, guys, and I hope you caught that. Creating more income is not the problem. He did go from 0 to 12,000, and he showed you how you can stop losing. Fill them holes up. And I like to tell people, great analogy, Mike. I like to tell people that's where the word currency comes from. Currency, water is flowing. Money is called currency. Listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. The questions I want to ask people is your money flowing towards you or away from you? Is the bulk of your money flowing towards you or away from you? Please remember, write this down if you guys taking notes. The lack of money will cost you money. Late fees, insufficient fund fees. See, I know about this. So I want to make you aware of it. More of my money was flowing away from me. That means I was in a negative cash flow cycle. But applying these strategies, and you see Mike is using it and applying it, now he got the opposite, which is true. The abundance of money, it will save you money. That's a positive cash flow cycle. So the opposite is true. Let math solve the problem, people. Apply the strategies. Before I turn, I think I am the next one, but just think real quick, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm gonna show you how to do this, how to get started doing this using the software. But just think about this, ladies and gentlemen, after what you saw from you being your number one asset. Why pay full price for your life? You need an income for life. Why pay full price for your life when you can learn Oh my goodness. Hold on, Andre. All right, Andre, you had a hot mic, but that's okay. Now, why pay full price for your life when you can learn to use a strategy and never outlive your money? I hope you caught that. You could use a strategy and never outlive your money. See, you would need an income for life. See, behind you, I hope you have a generation of somebody. It could be your kids, it could be your cousin, it could be anybody, but you want to leave a legacy too. Give them a head start. So Mike, thank you so much, man. And ladies and gentlemen, what I'm going to do real quick, and I'm going to be in and out, I'm going to share with you the software. You know, for those who already enrolled in MyEcon, you have your website look just like this. I'm going to click on the income shift and membership, and I'm going to go real quick to the tool that we call Cash Flow Manager. This is going to show you how to manage your money. Okay. More importantly, how to get those tax deductions, guys. So many people don't even know the difference because they're so scared of taxes. They don't know the difference in tax deduction. Okay. So I have a demo. You know what? It's very self-explanatory, but when you get in, you'll have to create one, right? Of course, just to throw this out there, this is a two-folded program, right? You could do it for the business and you could do it for home as well, right? We're going to focus on the business because you know what's in your home. So we're going to talk about the business. You name it, you know. Okay, just to show you how simple it is, you name it. That's what we'll call it. You name it, right? It's a business type, we'll save it, okay? You just got enrolled today. IRS just mandates you keep great records. That's it. If you can't take 5 minutes a day to manage your own money, I promise you, for the rest of your life, somebody's going to be taking it away from you because you don't take the time to do it. So you're going to give it away. You can never manage what you don't track. I tell people that all the time. Write that down if you're taking notes. You cannot manage what you don't track. Okay. So you just got started today, right? So we'll just put here fees. You just enrolled today. You heard Nick tell you already that it's $29.95. Okay. Now who? Okay. That was you, but who you paid? Okay. You paid MyEcon, right? The personal financial success company. What? I like to say enrollment fee. Okay. You can call it enrollment fee, right? Because that's what you have to pay to enroll. Where? Okay. You was online. All right. Because of, you online. We're going to talk about a little bit of this. You know what? I'm going to talk about a little bit of this on the next go round. Okay. I'm going to do another one for you. So here's a fee. It's an enrollment fee. I want to throw this out there, right? All this that you see here is all tax deductible. You ain't got to go look for nothing. This is all in compliance with the IRS, right? And you got that document into your back office as well. You have access to it. Every time they change it, it gets updated and changed. See? Now, $29.95, right? So we're going to go ahead and save that entry, right? Once you save that entry, guess what? This is just one entry for this month because you just enrolled today. Now, it's going to show you your expense log. What I love about this expense log, right, this tracker, like you heard Chauncey, no more shoe boxes. You don't have to keep receipts in the shoe box. You can take pictures of them and upload them, right? And it's going to look something like this, okay? Now, just imagine everything that you saw Mike, what he just shared with you, utilities, mileage, meals, you name it, right? They will all be categorized over a year's time. Mike only showed you 12,000, right? I've seen 60,000. Now, what's so important about it is once you end of the year, time to file your taxes, you go click on the annual report, okay? You could go categorize it, print it. You could even email it to your tax professional. That's how simple it is, ladies and gentlemen. Take a picture of it, download the app. That's how simple it is, right? Now, let's just go back to enter a new expense, okay? And you enter income as well, but it's not, you see when you get the emails, your cash flow increase, it's self-explanatory. You just click income and you do the same, right? But now let's talk about the monthly fee, right? The monthly fee, you know, some people could put the monthly renewal fee, you know, some people put the, I like to put the monthly renewal fee for the simple fact that it's just taking care of your system, right? The maintenance of your system. So 30 days from the day when people enroll, see, $34.95 don't come out up front. You go 30 days from the day. If the day is the 12th, okay, go to the next month on the 12th, right? And guess what? $34.95, ladies and gentlemen. This is how simple it is to record keep. The same people, because they are the one who giving us access, my econ, right? If you want to put incorporated, that's what I put sometimes. What? I like to put website maintenance fee. A lot of people don't understand this, right? But the website maintenance fee, they the one who paying for the you get your domain. Now it's shooting it out and broadcasting it, giving you a website. Not to mention the software, the strategy, and the entire system. You can't go out and get for a least expensive price all of this, okay? You can't. You can't find it, right? Now, since this happens every month, right? Make it easy for yourself. All you have to do is put monthly, right? And guess what? You could start it on that date right there, or you could go to the next date. Since you know October 12th gonna come and you already got it scheduled for October 12th, right? I like to click it on that date. Because after October the 12th, when September 12th comes, guess what? I'm sorry, September. When November comes, right? I don't have to think about it. It tells me. And I'm gonna show it to you because I got a demo and I haven't touched, and you'll see what I'm saying, okay? So before I finish this, if you got receipts, ladies and gentlemen, and you got them on your laptop, that's cool. You can choose a file from your laptop and upload it. Most people now use their smart device or their tablet. You could go and upload it, and this syncs with the computer. It syncs with your desktop, your laptop, from your smart device. Now, I know we have mileage right here, and I promise you, your odometer reader in your car, it don't change. You see it when you sit in there. All you have to do is put when it starts, okay? For people who like to do it manually. I'm one of those people who like to do it manually. Whatever the odometer reading is, I don't know, it could be 6,000. And when I went, wherever I went, I don't know, it was however many miles it was, okay? The odometer reading came back at 6,500, right? So we know right there, and it will do the math itself. It will show you 500 miles, right? If they was all business miles, you take all business miles, okay? If they wasn't all business miles, you don't take all business miles. You probably saying, well, Terrence, I don't see it now. No, you won't, because that day, that month hasn't come yet, right? It's a recurring event. That's your $34.95. Now just think, not only your $34.95, you got what you saw Mike talk about, your cell phone, right? See, you got the internet, right? See, here's what it done for this profile. See, it's asking me, hey, $34.95 monthly renewal fee, my econ, scheduled for this day. Do I want to confirm it? Yeah, all you gotta do is confirm it. You ain't gotta type nothing else. You ain't gotta type it all up no more. It's already there. You just save entry, and that will make life easier. So I just want to throw that out in a nutshell, because if you already have the system, it's very simple. For those who might be watching and don't have the system, let your sponsor, leverage your leadership, let them help you. Once you learn how to do it one time, it's just that simple. I promise you. That was a crash course, okay? So real quick, we're gonna continue going on, right? And this next gentleman, right? He gonna have the floor for a minute, okay? Because he's gonna show you how to develop a personal cash flow plan. All right, that's the first thing he's gonna share with you. Now, you know what? I'm gonna get ahead of myself a little bit. After that, he's also gonna show you how to create a GPS, a financial GPS, to get to where you are today, okay, to where you want to be. So remember what I said, it's how we thinking about money. So it's okay if your account is on zero right now today. If your credit score is just not where you want to be today, it's okay, okay? Because that was the old you, and it has nothing to do with the new you starting today and going forward. It don't. So this gentleman here, man, I don't even know how to really give him a opening, right? Because he's definitely living this, right? I have seen it, and I'll tell you what I mean by I have seen it. But he's hailing, you know, he was a military vet, and he has retired as well, and he's doing bigger and better things and helping his community and people in his community. But this here gentleman, man, he's a ton of fun, and ain't nothing wrong with being from the South. He's just like me. You know, some people might call us country, but I say we just Southerners, right? But one thing that I will tell you, this gentleman, he has mastered each strategy in the entire system. I won't put his testimony out there, and I will let him share his own testimony. But what I have done, and we don't, you know, really get carried away about materialistic things, but ladies and gentlemen, it just impressed me. And I was like, wow, from where I come from, I went to this gentleman's house, and in his entire house, this dude got gold spouts everywhere. Wherever the water come from and you turn it on, it's gold. So ladies and gentlemen, this gentleman here you finna hear from, you definitely want to copy from all the master instructors, but let's copy from this cat. Ain't nothing wrong with copying when you copy from the right cat, especially if you can go to their house and wash your hands up under the gold spouts. Ladies and gentlemen, let me bring this here gentleman who's full and filled with energy, and he's going to demonstrate to you and show you exactly how to take more control of your money. All the way from El Paso, but right now he's back at home visiting his parents, his mother. So without any further ado, Mr. Willie Johnson. Hey, light, camera, and action. I ain't mean to put you on the spot, sir, but please let them hear your testimony, man, and show them what you've learned and how you've been implementing these strategies.
Hey, man, first of all, I want to say thank you very much, man, for giving me this platform to be able to come on here with you and the other master instructors, man, and just be able to share this powerful stuff that we have learned, man, and we implement. So first of all, I got to give a shout out to my man, Mr. Nick Woodard, because without him, y'all already know this wouldn't be possible. So Nick, a high salute to you, my brother. So like Terrence told y'all, man, my name is Mr. Willie Ray Johnson Jr., man. If y'all know me or y'all been following me any length of time, y'all know the boy always come with a lot of energy because I'm so fired up and excited about what I have my hands on, man, and what I have been able to learn by being surrounded by everybody that you see in these blue shirts. So about 3 years ago, Nick and I had been friends for probably about 5 or 6 years, and he shared some information with me, and it just captivated me. It just really, really caught my attention. See, I was about 3 years from retiring from the Army, and the thing that I had always learned was how to shoot, move, and communicate. And, you know, I was a logistics guy in the Army, so anything about helping the Army, you know, save their money and be frugal with it, I could do that for you. But I never really had anybody that showed me how to do it with my own money, okay? And I'm not gonna sit here and tell you a lot, ladies and gentlemen. I was a Sergeant First Class, and for those of y'all that know what that is in the Army, basically what it was is it was only 2 other ranks in the Army that was higher than I was, okay? So people have this certain perception of you, and they think that, oh, you got it together when it comes to your money. Ladies and gentlemen, I was living a facade. You know what I'm saying? I was living paycheck to Monday, like Nick said. You know what I'm saying? My money was so bad off. I get paid on the 15th, and I was broke on the 14th. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I was getting paid hustling backwards. Okay. But again, Nick shared this information with me, and it caught my attention. So what I want to do first is I want to show y'all the first plan that I actually started using when I really started to understand what was going on. Okay. And we like to call it the personal cash flow plan. So let me go ahead right here and share my screen with y'all, okay? So here we go. We're gonna talk about this personal cash flow plan. So go ahead and grab a pen and a piece of paper, ladies and gentlemen, because what I'm about to give you right here, if you choose to follow it, okay, it can be successful. Now, we always know that, you know, sometimes as grown people, we do not like being told what to do, you know, because that's what I said, we grown, we think we got it all figured out. But here's the thing you got to understand, ladies and gentlemen, you must first humble yourself and just admit that you don't know what you don't know so that we can get you to figure it out and help you get there. All right. So here we go. We got a little saying that we say up here in the FBA, baby, the Financial Blueprint Academy. Okay. So after today, okay, should you decide you want to get down with us and start wearing the blue t-shirt and start getting on here and doing this training, this is what we do. When somebody asks us, hey man, what's up? You know what we tell them? My cash flow, baby. So you can start sharing that with people yourself. All right. So here's what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen. When it comes to the personal cash flow plan, it is a detailed plan that shows you how to discretionary or take your money and put it towards your finances so that you can obtain that financial peace of mind, that financial success. If y'all see them blue shirts over there, okay, we say we're the Financial Blueprint Academy because we want to show you how to get a financial peace of mind, okay? And it's two things that I've learned since I've got started with this awesome team. The first one is understanding that you must have peace. When you got peace, ladies and gentlemen, you don't let nothing take you away from that. But then when you also get that financial peace of mind, the things that you used to worry about, you don't even stress about them no more, okay? So that's the first thing, okay? Now, the first step in this plan is we want to show you how to acquire as much cash flow as possible, okay? So what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to show you how to create some business income, show you how to minimize your taxes, show you how to adjust your debts before, and show you how to minimize your expenses, okay? Now, y'all heard Mr. Nick Woodard, you know, my man, my mentor, my sponsor, he did a very, very great job explaining this in the beginning. But see, ladies and gentlemen, what a lot of folks don't understand is just because you make a certain amount of money every month does not mean that you actually keeping a certain amount of money every month, okay? So like they said in the beginning, we want to show you how to adjust your W-4, okay? Because that's where we see that a lot of people are able to bring back in their biggest amount of money, okay? Now, again, we understand that that is where most people do because most of us have jobs. But if you don't have a job, there's no reason for you not to understand or not be able to grasp this concept and that it can work for you still, okay? That's just where we usually like to start at, okay? Now, once we show you how to do these things and we show you how to bring in this additional cash flow, we want to show you how to eliminate your debt, okay? And Nick put it so eloquently, ladies and gentlemen. He said, how much more money would you have if your debt was zero, okay? Now, here's another thing that you got to understand, ladies and gentlemen. You must be willing to follow instructions, okay? That's one thing that I had to get out of my own way when it came to doing this business. You know, I knew, or I thought I knew how to, you know, take care of my money and how to get out and get things done. But write this down if you're taking notes, ladies and gentlemen. If you knew what to do, you would be doing it already. And you being you got you exactly where you are right now. I don't say that to step on your toes or to offend you. Those are just facts, ladies and gentlemen. And I had to get out of my own way, okay? So here's the thing. What we want you to do is this. Follow instructions. This plan is very, very simple, but you got to follow it, okay? Until you get this first one done, don't think about number two. Don't start looking down the road and start thinking about what you can do next. Understand where you at, stay there and get it out of the way before you move on to something better, okay? Or something different, shall I say. All right, let's move on to number two. What we want to do now is we want to show you how to set up a mini emergency fund, okay? When we say, tell y'all do this, we want you to understand that once you get an emergency fund behind you, emergencies are no longer emergencies, they're just slight inconveniences, okay? Now, what we always tell people to do is write this right here. Start your mini emergency fund with about $3,000 a month, okay? We say do that with $3,000 because let's be realistic, ladies and gentlemen. If you got $3,000 in an emergency fund, there's not a whole lot that you're not going to be able to take care of should it present itself, okay? Things like, say, your washer or your dryer goes out in your house, okay? Washer and dryer somewhere around $700, $800, okay, depending on what you're getting. Or if your hot water heater go out in your house. Or if you're driving along your road and you get a flat tire, okay? See, when you got the emergency fund behind you, ladies and gentlemen, Now you can take care of those things and you can just keep moving, okay? Now, we say here that we want you to put that money in a money market account or put it separate from your everyday money, okay? Because let's be realistic, y'all. Until you develop that level of discipline that's necessary, when you go in there and you look at that account and you see that $3,000 over there, you'll start thinking about other things that you need to be or you want to do with it, okay? This thing takes discipline. You got to understand that just because it's there don't mean you got to use it, okay? Now, we would never tell you not to put money in banks, okay? But we understand that when you put money in banks, like Nick told you earlier, you got to understand the difference between a wholesale investment and a retail investment, okay? You want to have liquid cash that you can put your hands on in the event of emergency, but you also want to put your money somewhere where it's going to continue to grow and help you become better, okay? Now, I want you to put money into that account until you get it to $3,000, okay? Once you get that done, then you move on to step 3. But right here, ladies and gentlemen, I tell you.
Hey, Willie.
Yes, sir.
Willie.
Yes, sir.
I ain't mean to, I know you're in the groove. I ain't mean to cut you off, but are you supposed to be sharing your screen now?
Uh-oh. I sure am, sir. My bad. Did I not start sharing?
And I don't see it. I just see you. And I know where you're coming from. And I know the document that we have, but
oh man, my fault.
Just see you.
Okay. Can you see my screen now, brother?
Yes, sir. Now we can.
Oh man, my bad. Let me back up a little bit then. That coming.
And if you could just bring it, because all the information you're saying, I promise it's on point. And it's okay. People might need to see it and hear it again. Thank you so much.
My bad, man. I got the flowing right there and forgot to share my screen. All right. So let's back up a little bit, ladies and gentlemen. Let's play catch up. So step number 1, okay, we want to show you how to acquire as much cash flow as possible, okay? Like I said, Mr. Wood had broke it down in the beginning with the presentation, telling you how we're going to show you how to build some business income. Want to show you how to adjust your taxes, get your W-4 right, because a lot of people, ladies and gentlemen, are losing money every month because they don't have this document filled out properly, okay? Then we also want to show you how to minimize your expenses, okay? You got too much money going to somewhere to doing something, okay? I had a gentleman I was talking to about a cell phone bill. He was just bragging because he had a $400 cell phone bill, $400 a month cell phone bill, but he had Wi-Fi in his house. Let's show you how to bring your $400 cell phone bill down to about $150, and you can use that other money to pay off some debt, okay? Now, again, don't get ahead of yourself, ladies and gentlemen. Stay within the framework. Follow the rules and use the tools. You are not the tool. Follow instructions. If you don't know, it's okay to not know. But it's not okay for you to act like you do and then put yourself in a bad situation, okay? So I was talking about the mini emergency fund, okay? You wanna build that to $3,000. $3,000 will help you take care of many things that, if you didn't have it, it would be a problem. Like I said, hot water heater goes out, washer and dryer goes out. See, those things are emergencies, and most people, when things like that happen, they panic. But if you got through, you can put your hands on right now, you don't worry about having to pay $800 to get your wash and dry fixed. You just go get it fixed and you go about your business. Now, I understand this. If you borrow from it, you got to put it back so you can keep it rolling, okay? All right. Now, here we go. We want you to begin some type of investment account after you do this, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, there are several different things out there, and you have to figure out what's best for you, okay? Now, I will tell y'all a little bit about myself just here at this part. I was doing some investing and I had a conversation with Terrence, and he just shed some light on me, okay? And that's the importance, ladies and gentlemen, that y'all gotta understand about having a mentor in this business who has already gone the way that you're going, okay? I never try to combat Terrence, or I never try to, act like Nick, what he's giving me is not useful, because they've already done what I'm doing. So it's just okay. It's okay to humble yourself, all right? Now, here's the thing you gotta understand, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, there are several things out there. You got your 401k, your 403, your IRA, but you have to understand where you are and what your financial goals are, okay? You just don't go and do what somebody else is doing just because they say it works for them. It may not be for you to do. So you got to understand that, okay? Now, here's what we want you to do. If you can do it, put at least 5% of your income into your investments, okay? Mr. Hill showed y'all earlier, him and his wife have maxed that out, but they are in a position to do that. If you just getting started with this thing, the last thing you want to do is be trying to invest money that you don't have, so you have to go back in there and take it out later and then get a penalty on it because you touched it before it was time. Don't put yourself in that situation, ladies and gentlemen, okay? And then the biggest thing again, y'all gonna see this right here. This is a repeating thing. Don't go to step 4 until you get step 3 done, okay? Now, let's go ahead and move on a little bit. Here's the good part right here, ladies and gentlemen. This is what I started doing, and I was just like, okay, cool. You wanna start paying off all your consumer debt, not your mortgage, okay? So if you know you got some credit cards out there, or you got your, your card note and all that other stuff, go ahead and just start paying that stuff down, okay? I'm gonna show you in the next presentation about the debt elimination plan. But ladies and gentlemen, I ask people this question all the time. How many people right now today get in their car and just say, you know what? I'm driving to wherever. I have no idea where it's at. I don't know how long it's gonna take me there, but I'm just gonna drive until I end up there. Nobody does that, ladies and gentlemen, but we do that with our finances all the time. We've watched our parents go that route. We've watched people close to us use that, and we see what they are. So why don't we get, like Terrence say, get out of the line and put ourselves on a different path, okay? Again, ladies and gentlemen, this is just all about understanding it's okay for you not to know, but it's gotta understand too that the information is out there for you should you choose to utilize it, okay? Now, so like I said, you wanna go ahead and start paying off that consumer debt, okay? The remainder of your cash flow after living expenses, okay? We understand you gotta pay your light bill, you gotta pay your water bill. But once you get all of that stuff done, once you know you got that extra cash or that additional money, start getting rid of that debt. Just get it gone, okay? Now, after you have done that, now it's time to start maximizing your investments, ladies and gentlemen, okay? Like I said, you was doing 5% in the beginning. If you can go ahead and take that to 10 or 15%, whatever it's gonna take for you to max it out, go ahead and do it. See, by the time you get to this step, ladies and gentlemen, you've already paid off all your consumer debt. You don't have the car note, you don't have the credit card bills and all the other stuff, okay? Now it's just living expenses and the money you have left, okay? So now let's go ahead and start making that money work for us, okay? Like I said again, Mr. Hill showed you how him and his wife has done that, all right? Now, again, don't go to 6, ladies and gentlemen, until you finish 5, all right? Now, let's go, number 6. This is where things are starting to get a little exciting for you, ladies and gentlemen, okay? Because at this point, you're ready to build your full and true emergency fund, okay? Now, a true emergency fund, ladies and gentlemen, is about 6 to 9 months of your living expenses, okay? Now, here's what you gotta do. You have to understand, you've already paid off everything. So let's say, for instance, your mortgage is $1,200, okay? You wanna have 6 to 9 months of that, okay? So that's about $12,000, $13,000, okay? You already know that you done paid everything off. So now when you get to build that true emergency fund, ladies and gentlemen, you on a different type of level. Your mindset has changed. And that's another thing that's happening to you as you go through this personal cash flow plan, okay? My mentor, Mr. Nick Woodard, tells me this here. In this business, ladies and gentlemen, your finances should be improving every 90 days if you're following the plan. You can see those tangible results if you're utilizing it, okay? Now, like I said, the true emergency fund should be 6 to 9 months, okay? This is extra cash flow that you require from, creating business income, because by this point in time, you're building your business team. This is just like I've done, you know what I'm saying? I have an organization of over about 50 people, but I didn't just jump out there and just say, you know what, I wanna go build my team and then I figure out everything else. Terrence always tells us this, ladies and gentlemen, you must understand where you are in the 369 financial transformation. Okay, you can't be in number 3 and be worrying about trying to get to number 9. Stay where you at, understand it, and then allow yourself to grow, okay? Now, again, once you got that full emergency fund built, ladies and gentlemen, things are really, really finna start rocking and rolling in, okay? I'm over here starting to sweat a little bit because the boy done been through this here and he know what it looked like, so stay with me. Now, if you are renting a house, ladies and gentlemen, okay, go ahead and buy you a house because you ain't got no debt. You got a true emergency fund. Things is rocking and rolling. They cooking like you cooking with Crisco, baby. You cooking with hot grease, all right? Now, if you are renting, buy a home. But if you are buying a home, we're gonna go ahead and go to step 7B, all right? Now with step 7B, ladies and gentlemen, this is where you're gonna start knocking out that mortgage. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna tell you right now. Again, I am at this point. Me and my wife have our financial GPS working for us. And here in the next 10 years, ladies and gentlemen, me and my wife ain't gonna have no house payment, no car payment. All we gonna do is start showing up to the PAX terminal, that military airport, with an old backpack and some flip-flops on, and we just gonna hop on an old Space A flight and go wherever we want to. You know what I'm saying? See, ladies and gentlemen, that's what we're talking about. You wanna get to a point to where you have not only time, but you also have money behind you, okay? See, when you put those two things together, ladies and gentlemen, you create what we call lifestyle, and then you can live like Uncle Frank, AKA Mr. Terrence Hill. You know what I'm talking about? So, now you go ahead and pay off that mortgage, ladies and gentlemen, okay? Now, let's go ahead. Again, don't you start thinking about step number 8 if you ain't finished number 7, okay? Now, here is the last one, ladies and gentlemen. Now that you got all of that stuff done, now what you want to start doing is you want to start building a true investment portfolio above and beyond the other things that you were doing. See, ladies and gentlemen, like I said again, at this point, you already know every dollar that you make now is a dollar you can keep. Now you want to go ahead and start getting those, real estate portfolios and mutual funds and all that other stuff, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, once you get this behind you and you got total control of your money, now you can do the things that you want to do, okay? See, what y'all got to understand is this. Wealthy people don't get wealthy overnight. Wealth takes time, ladies and gentlemen, okay? Some of us are in the society and all we want to do is we want everything right now. I like to call it the microwave attempt, the microwave mentality, okay? And some of y'all so doggone impatient that you'll stand in front of the microwave today and get the 1 second and you take it out. You don't even want to let the doggone microwave finish and just go ding because you don't want to hear it. You cannot do that, ladies and gentlemen, when we're trying to build wealth. You must embrace the process of becoming wealthy and enjoy that as much as you want to be wealthy, all right? Again, all right, here's another thing. I keep telling you, your financial knowledge is going to grow, ladies and gentlemen, as you go through this process. See, I can tell you right now, there are some things that I didn't know in strategy 3 that I learned there once I got there. And then as I kept going through the strategies and having the conversations with Terrence, my knowledge just kept growing and growing and growing. But see, like I like to tell folks is this right here, knowledge is power. But it's the application and the sharing of knowledge that is as powerful as the knowledge itself. See, I got people on my team that I am helping do the exact same thing that Terrence and Nick have helped me do. But again, ladies and gentlemen, you got to be willing to understand that you don't know what you don't know, and you got to be willing to humble yourself so that you can receive that information. All right. Now, some definition and some perspective, ladies and gentlemen, okay? Now, don't get ahead of yourself. We understand that as you move through this process, you got to take care of certain things. You got to take care of life insurance and health insurance and all that other stuff, okay? But here's the thing you got to understand. Once you understand that money is a tool for you to use, then with kind of conversations, they'd be a lot easier. See, me and my wife have had the life insurance conversation, okay? We already know what each one of our individual wishes are when we come to that point in our life, which I'm hoping don't come for another 40 or 50 years because, we got some trips to make, okay? But you got to be willing to have these conversations, ladies and gentlemen. And the reason why a lot of us don't like to have them is because we're not in a financial situation to do so, okay? That is the other importance of having a good personal cash flow plan. As you move through those processes, you can have those conversations that you didn't want to have before, okay? My wife has been with me, I showed up to her doorstep, I ain't had nothing but 4 boxes in a truck. Now, Terrence done already told y'all, we washing our hands on the gold spouts now, you know what I'm saying? We living good, but it's a process, ladies and gentlemen, and you have to be willing to embrace it and go through it, okay? Here's the thing that we have to understand. Here at my econ, ladies and gentlemen, we're about helping our associates increase their cash flow and their financial knowledge, okay? That we are big on. We want you to understand financial literacy and financial education, because we understand that without those two things, you are gonna stay on the path that you know is not working because you don't have the means to put yourself on a different, okay? Now, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen right here and I'm gonna turn it back over to Mr. Terrence Hill. But ladies and gentlemen, please understand, you have to get yourself on a personal cash flow plan, okay? My econ is the personal financial success company. So don't be worrying about what Terrence got going on in his life and what Chauncey got going on with his 850 credit score. If you ain't there yet, that's okay. Understand that and put yourself in a position to where you can start to elevate and get on them levels so you can start having some of these conversations. With that being said, Terrence, I'm gonna turn it back over to you, good brother. You muted, bro.
Hey, you know I'm over here doing, I'm trying to multitask, stop the things going on in the background. Hey, people talking, and I'm trying to chat with everybody too, man, because I do want to thank y'all for being here. And Willie, awesome job, Willie. And sharing with the cash flow plan, right? The PCP. And I want to say cash flow strategies. Is that you, Nick? Okay, cool. Now, and he had the green light to keep going, but you know, I wanted him to, you know, he knew he needed to wipe down real quick and take a little sip of water. But ladies and gentlemen, he also gonna go over the cash flow strategies. Now the cash flow strategies, that is what's gonna get you from point A to point B, right? And so listen very close because he made a lot of great points. Be transparent. You got to know where you're going. But first of all, you can't get there if you don't know where you at. So Willie, hey man, I'm not gonna hold it up. Go ahead and because I know we got somebody coming behind you, somebody that you have mentored. So let's talk about the cash flow strategies, and then we'll go from there.
All right, man. I appreciate you. Yeah, you know your boy get to sweating like that big preacher with that little bitty suit on in the South. So I had to, you know what I'm saying? I ain't even gonna move right now. We just gonna keep this thing rolling. So ladies and gentlemen, first of all, let me go ahead and share my screen first before I even get into anything else. Cause you know what I'm saying? That boy kind of got excited there a little bit ago and just kind of ran off with the plug. Come on back with the plug, Willie Ray. Come on back with the plug. All right. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Now, Terrence was just talking about the cash flow strategies, okay? We like to call it the financial GPS, okay? Now, I kind of alluded to this when I was talking to you about the personal cash flow plan. Nobody gets in a vehicle and just starts driving aimlessly in any direction without turning on your cell phone. You know, some of y'all got Google Maps, or some of y'all got Waze, or whatever financial, or excuse me, not financial, whatever GPS system you like to use, okay? Well, see, what we like to do here is we like to utilize the, there we go. We like to utilize the cash flow strategies, okay? So I had a conversation with a gentleman, okay? And we're just gonna call him Mr. John Sample, okay? Because I don't wanna put him out there. Y'all might start trying to Google him or look him up on Facebook and become his friend and stuff like that. So I had a conversation when I said, hey man, let's sit down, let's have a real conversation about your money, okay? That's step number one. You got to be willing to have those real tough conversations about your money. Because until you do that, ladies and gentlemen, you ain't never going to be able to make the progress that you really want to make. Okay, and this is one of the things that, again, I go back and talk about myself because I don't know y'all like that. I don't know your story, but I know my own. Okay, for a while, like I told you, I was not being truthful with myself about my finances. You know, people thought because I was a son first class and because I was making X amount of dollars a month that I was living good. But they didn't realize that behind the scenes, man, I was doing bad. You know what I'm saying? Having to make decisions about if I'm gonna put gas in my truck, if I'm gonna feed myself. You know what I'm saying? Those are hard decisions. But what we did is me and Mr. Sample sat down and I said, okay, man, what is your freedom goal money-wise? How much money do you see yourself needing every month to be able to sustain your current lifestyle? Okay. He told me, he said, Willie, I need about $6,000. I said, okay, cool. All right. How much money do you see yourself getting from Social Security and your retirement? He said about $1,500. Okay. So what I want you to do, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to understand this right here. As you look at this here form, 1 and 2 gives you 3. Okay. 3 and 4 will give you 5. All right. So he said he needed about $6,000 a month to maintain his current lifestyle, but he only had about $1,500 a month that was going to be coming in. So right there, ladies and gentlemen, he was $4,500 upside down, or $45 in the negative. So we had to figure out how we were going to generate that money to get him to that $6,000. Okay. Now, total assets needed at a monthly income at an 8% rate of return. Okay, this is what he needed to have in the bank. Okay, so he needed $675,000. Okay, he had $15,000 in the bank right now that he was not in the bank, that he was actually investing. Okay, so if you take that money and you subtract that, that says that he needs to come up with another $625,000. Okay, now we know he needed to put another $18,000 invested monthly into his investment account to get him to those numbers. Okay, see, all this is doing, ladies and gentlemen, is this is just showing you where you are, telling you what you need to have in order to get to where you want to go. Okay, just like that GPS. Okay, if you're driving down the road and it'll pop up and tell you, hey, there was an accident at mile marker such and such, we can reroute you to get you away from that and still keep you on your same time to get there. See, most folks look at that and be like, okay, cool. Woo, you go ahead and click that button. Same thing applies with your money, ladies and gentlemen. You got to be willing to take those detours to get to where you need to and still keep yourself on track. Okay. Now I asked him, I said, hey man, how much money do you have right now that's not committed to anything? He told me, well, I'm investing about $100 a month. I said, okay, cool. So based off that $1,800 that he wanted to you have investing, he was investing another $800, so he still needed to do $1,700. Okay, that's the overall the synopsis, the quick snap. Okay, so now what we did is, hey, Mr. Sample, let's go ahead and have another conversation. So what I did is first thing we did is we helped him generate some business income. Okay, we put a couple people on his team. Okay, just by doing that, we was able to generate him $500 a month. Okay, and here we are again, ladies and gentlemen, going back to that tax thing. Okay, that W-4 adjustment. Okay, you gotta stop leaving money on the table, ladies and gentlemen. You gotta stop letting Uncle Sam take your money every month, because I guarantee you, if you put that money back in your pocket, you can find something better to do with it than what he can. All right. So generated $500 for business income, made that W-4 adjustment and brought back in another $500. So that's $1,000 that we helped bring back into Mr. Sample's house. Now he got that much more money to work with. Okay. Now, after we started minimizing some expenses and looking at some other stuff, we were able to get $150. Okay, remember I told you he had $100 that he was investing anyway, and then we was able to find another $50 just by minimizing his expenses. Okay, now your recurring monthly expenses, ladies and gentlemen, these are your living expenses. Okay, these are things like your cell phone bill, your water bill, your light bill. Okay, after we sit down and started making some adjustment there as well, we was able to take that from $13.95 down to $7.95, which gave him another $600. All right. So now we have the $600 that we was able to bring back from adjusting some of his expenses. Okay. Then we found that $100 that he was using investing. Let's use it to what we can actually do something with. Okay. And then we got the $1,000 from bringing back the business income and adjusting his W-4. Okay. So let's move on to our next seat right here. Okay. So now here we are, step 4. All right. You now have $1,750 available for debt reduction that was created in steps 1, 2, and 3. All right. So here's what me and Mr. Sample talked about. I said, hey man, let's not worry about doing anything at this moment except getting your debt gone. Remember, back to the personal cash flow plan. All right. We done did the things we need to do. We created that additional income. Okay. Got him some money in his emergency fund. Now let's get rid of this debt. Okay. So right now, $1,750. All right. So what we did is we put down all his debts. He had a car loan, a MasterCard, and his mortgage. Okay. Started off with the doggone car loan first. Okay. $17,000 was the balance. He was paying $545 a month. So what we did is took that $1,750, added it to that $545. Now he's making payments of $22.95, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Now we was able to get that debt gone in 8 months and free up that $22.95. See, what we're doing right here, ladies and gentlemen, is we're snowballing. Okay. We getting rid of debt, and then we just taking the money that we freed up by paying off one debt and putting it towards another debt. Okay. So let's keep going. He had an $8,000 MasterCard bill. He was paying $200 a month. Now, Terrence showed y'all with the bloody mess. When you making those minimal payments like that, ladies and gentlemen, you're not doing yourself any favor. You are actually extending your sentence, okay? you putting yourself further and further in financial bondage. But we took that $22.95, added it to that $200. Now he's making $24.95 a month payments, debt gone in 4 months. All right. Last thing he had left was that home mortgage, $2,000. He paying $1,200 a month. Take that $24.95, add it to that $1,200. Now you making $36.95 a month. 55 months, ladies and gentlemen, it's all gone. Okay. Again, it is a beautiful thing, ladies and gentlemen, when you utilize that cash flow strategies and you putting them numbers in there and then you seeing them numbers come down, like Chauncey was talking about, understanding and knowing what your financial freedom number is. It's a powerful thing, okay? I just told you, me and my wife are in the process of doing that now. Here in the next 10 years, me and her are gonna be totally debt free. And it's a good thing knowing that, but it's so much more exciting when you start seeing them numbers just come down and down and down, okay? I'm kind of short, you know what I'm saying? I'm about 5'8". So when they take that 6-foot goal or that 12-foot goal and bring it down to my level, I can go in there and start doing them reverse lay down back jumps like Michael Jordan used to do. But I ain't really that tall, so I don't get too excited, all right? So here's what we gotta understand, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the total amount of debt. Before me and Mr. Sample had this conversation, he had $225,000 in debt, okay? It took us 67 months to eliminate that debt, okay? I think Mr. Sample in the beginning said he wanted to be debt-free by 2033. Well, by implementing these strategies, ladies and gentlemen, he was able to do it 10 years earlier. Now he has $1,945 of cash flow he created by debt elimination, and his available monthly cash flow now is $3,695. All right. So let's go back and look at this now. All right. So remember in the beginning, we told you Mr. Sample had $15,000 that he was investing, that he had invested. And then he had another 100 that he was putting towards it. Okay. So this thing here reads the same way. A plus B gives you C. D plus E will give you F. Okay. So let's just kind of run through this real quick. So we don't start getting rid of debt. Okay. So let's go right here and look at 2029. Okay. That same $15,000, 8% return in 2029, that 15,000 has turned now to 37,774. Okay. Remember, he paid off that debt, so he had more money to put with that. So that now he has that 37 and that 22, that give him $60,000. Okay. And now, ladies and gentlemen, his numbers are starting to grow. Okay. That 15,000 that he had in the beginning grew from there to 2029, it grew to 400,000. See, ladies and gentlemen, here's something else y'all got to understand. I want you to write this down if you're taking notes. Compound interest, ladies and gentlemen, is the 8th wonder of the world. If you use it to your benefit, you'll love it for life. But if you allow it to be used against you, you'll hate it till you get buried. Okay. So just keep going. Like I said, look down here, 2033. He completely debt free, ladies and gentlemen. And look right there what it said. Congratulations. You have reached your financial freedom date. That's a beautiful thing, ladies and gentlemen. But check it out. Look right there, 3 years from, 3 years from that date, 2033 to 2036, Mr. Sample had become a cash flow millionaire, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. That's just simply applying the strategies, being disciplined enough to let the strategies work for him, staying true to your cash flow strategies, and seeing it through until you hit where you want to go. Terrence always tell us this right here, and I'm gonna share it with y'all. Don't quit until you hit. But you'll never hit if you don't get started, and you'll never hit if you quit before the results become full-fledged in your face. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me stop sharing my screen. Turn it back over to the man, the myth, the legend. Terrence, again, brother, I appreciate you giving me this opportunity to be on this platform with you and these other leaders, man. I just hope that we have inspired someone today to take action and go get themselves on the right side of capitalism and give themselves that financial peace of mind that the FBA be providing them every month.
Hey, man, John, well done. Ain't nothing I can say. Congratulations, man, on your success and your family and success. And I can't wait to join y'all and we fly across using the travel membership as well. And, you know, we just go out where we want to go out and enjoy each other's company. Thank you, man. Thank you so much. Now, the next presenter, right, as we get ready to turn it down, but this guy, he's going to come filled with energy. You're gonna wonder why. Probably because Willie was the same person that mentored him, okay, and is showing him who has an incredible success story, right? I won't tell you a whole lot about his success story, but this gentleman here, he military also, retiree also, right? And he's gonna talk to you and teach you something why you want to become the bank and have interest work for you. All right. I know I showed a negative side of interest, but he's going to show you a very great positive side of interest. And this gentleman here, a great brother of mine, we have worked together too. And I have a ton of respect for him. He actually knows, and he's applying what he's about to teach. You'll feel it. His name is Mr. Asar, coming to you from Clarksville, Tennessee. Mr. Asar, lights, camera, and the floor is yours, sir.
Okay, hey man, I appreciate that. Once again, I got to give it right back to you, man, because if it wasn't for you providing this platform, I wouldn't be here, you know. So I got to give it right back to you. But like the man said, I am Asar, and I'm going to show you why and how you become the bank, right? And the reason why you need to become first of all, let me back up. I'm gonna give you a little bit about me. I forgot to give you a little bit about me. So before my econ, I was a Master Sergeant in the United States Army. And like Mr. Johnson told you, he was a sergeant first class. So I was one level above that. So there was only one rank that I could make, right? And like him, I was, you know, on paper and in the forefront, I was doing great, but in the background, terrible. I literally spent 26 years in the United States military managing literally, I put my hands on literally $1 billion worth of United States Army funds and equipment throughout my career, and never learned how to manage my own funds at home. And that's the one thing that the military never teaches us. So just from strategy 1, after I joined my econ, I was able to bring back $957.11 a month back into my household, which equates to a little under $12,000 a year. And with that money and utilizing the strategies that I learned in my econ over the past 2 years and some change now, my wife and I have been able to become nearly debt free. Been able to pay off nearly $40,000 worth of debt, and we have now a 6-year plan to pay off our house. So the success is there if you use the system. But we talking about the banker's secret, right? So I'm gonna take you through the banker's secret. I'm gonna share my screen in a second, but I want to give you some. If you know me, anybody that knows me, I'm about facts, right? So I'm gonna give you just a little bit of facts about banks, right? A little bit of understanding how banks make literally billions of dollars off of your money, right? First off, the 4 most popular banks in the United States, we talking Wells Fargo, Chase, Bank of America, and US Bank. The average rate of return interest rate that they give you on a savings account is only 0.01%. That's 100th of a percent. Not even nowhere any close to a whole percent. Now, what does that mean? That means you got to have $1,000 in the bank for a year to earn 10 cents, right? So you're probably saying, well, what am I supposed to do with my money? Put it in my mattress? Nah, far be it for me to tell you what to do with your money. But putting it in the mattress, gonna earn just about as much interest as it do put it in the bank. It's just not gonna be quite as safe, right? So as I get ready to share my screen, let's talk about the actual banker's secret. I'm gonna go in here and share first, and then we're gonna go through this in just 1 second. All right, can everybody see my screen? All right. Yeah. So, okay, how do you become the bank, right? You need to learn how banks use your money to make money and apply that to your lifestyle, right? And that goes along with the banker's secret. Now, the banker's secret is the rule of 72. The rule of 72 is a formula for compound interest. And compound interest, as Willie said before, is the eighth wonder of the world. Those who learn it, earn it, and those who don't, they pay it, right? Now, the formula goes, and I'm gonna go to my share screen now. Oh, let me back up. I went too far. Hold on 1 second, y'all. My screen went off. Bear with me. Bear with me 1 second. Let me get back to where I'm supposed to be. All right, here we go. The rule of 72. You take 72 and divide it by the interest rate or rate of return that you're going to get, and that equals your money double. Now, we're going to use three people that everybody probably knows, right? We're going to use Tom, Dick, and Harry. Everybody heard of Tom, Dick, and Harry, right? And we're going to give all three of these guys the benefit of youth. We're going to give them $10,000 and a set interest rate, right? So we're going to start off with old Tom. We're going to give Tom a 4% interest rate. Now, I just told you the average interest rate on a regular checking account at the major banks is less than 1%. The average across the nation is still less than 1%, right? 4%, hey, that's a significant increase, right? So we're gonna give him that. Now, understand this too. I think Mr. Woodard spoke on inflation. The average rate of inflation is about 4%. So watch how this thing goes, right? It takes by the calculations, it takes 18 years for Mr. Tom for his money to double, right? So we're gonna give him $10,000 at age 29. By age 47, he's only got $20,000. Age 65 is the quote unquote retirement age, but we also learned earlier that retirement is not an age, right? It's a number, right? So, but we're gonna go by the quote unquote entire retirement age. At 65, Tom's only got $40,000. Now, I don't know about y'all. I can't retire on $40,000. You know what I mean? So we're gonna go over here to Dick, right? Dick's got a 2% different interest rate, right? So let's see how long it takes for his money to double. By the calculation, that's 12 years, right? Dick's 29 also with $10,000. By age 41, he's already got the $20,000 that Tom had at 47. 6 years, he's 6 years ahead of him, just with a 2% hike in what he was on his rate of return. By age 53, he is ahead of Tom with $40,000 at a younger age. He's still got quite a bit to go to reach the quote unquote retirement age. By age 65, he's got $80,000. Now, $80,000 is a lot of money when you think about it, right? But can you retire off $80,000? I don't think you can. I know I can. So let's get on over here to Mr. Harry. Harry's got a 12% rate. Now, that 12% rate is what we're talking about when we say the banks are getting wholesale returns on your money, right? They're getting wholesale returns on your money while they're giving you the retail of that less than 1%. And Harry is getting that, right? So by the calculation, by the rule of 72, he's getting, his money is going to double every 6 years, right? Every 6 years. Now that's a whole lot different than the previous two guys, right? $10,000 at 29. 35, he's already got the $20,000. Still a young guy, still moving and kicking. 41, he got $40,000, getting it in. By age 47, $80,000 he got in the bank. Still a young guy. How I know that? I'm 48. He's still a young guy. 53, he got $160,000. $160,000. By age 59, he's got 320. By age, I'm going too fast. By age 65, the quote unquote retirement age, he's got $640,000 in that of money in that investment, right? Now, in summary, leaving your money in the bank is a $600,000 decision, right? That's a decision that you want to choose and make wisely, right? Most definitely you want to make that. Now, And the banks earn this by lending your money 10 times. They earn $6,000 more than you will by using this rule, right? And for every $1,000 that you have in the bank, or that's in the bank can lend that 10 times. Mortgages, credit cards, what have you, right? So I'm gonna say a few words and then I'm gonna close, right? Now, they say that ignorance is bliss, right? Well, maybe that's why so many people don't want to wake up. Now, I'm not saying ignorance to insult anyone. So let's define the word, give you some more facts, right? Ignorance is a lack of knowledge or information, right? So we're giving you the information. That's what we do. So ignorance is what? Sounds like it's a choice to me, right? So in closing, I want you to understand that information is the new currency. And we're out here spreading the information, right? And like my mentor told me, Mr. Terrence Hill, our moderator, he told us in a training, he said that his mentor told him, knowledge is knowing that a tomato is a fruit. But, excuse me. Ooh, losing my voice. Knowledge is knowing that tomato is a fruit, but wisdom is knowing that you don't put a tomato in a fruit salad. Hey, y'all, that's my time. I appreciate you, Terrence. I appreciate you. I'm gonna throw it right on back over to you, brother, man.
And that's the honest God truth. Hey, thank you so much, Azar. And ladies and gentlemen, I hope we all caught that why you want to become the bank, right? And when he stops sharing his screen, I'm going to share with you why that is so important, right? We all know that leaving the money in the bank, ladies and gentlemen, you're losing money, right? Now, before I jump into very quick about the payroll tax thing, right? Because I did say I was going to talk a little bit about it. Before I jump into it about the payroll tax thing, is I think you're still sharing your screen, Asar, if you could like just stop sharing. But before I jump into it, ladies and gentlemen, knowledge is the new currency. You don't have to go get you none, and you don't have to remain ignorant. I know it say, for the lack of knowledge, people are destroyed. That is in the Bible. We're not going to school, to church, but that is one of the oldest books in the world, right? You went to school and you read and learned from books. Some people are learning today because they read it from books. Whether you want to say it's fact or fiction, who cares, right? Let math solve the problem. And if you keep allowing your money to sit in the bank because you don't know what to do with them, the bank will always make more money than you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, for those who stayed here with us this long, what we want to let you know, right, is that we're not trying to impress you. We just want to impress upon you the importance of this financial education, being that we who are not wealthy, didn't come from wealth. We've been seeing wrong for so long. Now that when we see right, we think it's wrong. And real quick, I want to share, before I pull up this Social Security thing, because we're going to talk about the mindset, because I forgot to share this with you guys. And I just want to let you know, and I love documentation because it'll show you exactly what I'm doing, right? This is my financial group, okay? This is what I'm doing, and you saw me do for personal, for my wife. Guess what? Now I do it for our business. Now, this is on the investment side, okay? But once you get yourself where you want to be personally, now it's so important that we start teaching how to protect your asset, right? Turn yourself into an entity. Here we go in this here fund. This is a retirement fund for a business owner. We call it a SEP, okay? Now, this was back in April, I think, May, okay? We invested into what be like a 401k, okay, for people who work jobs and don't understand this. It's fine if you don't understand it. I didn't understand it neither till you heard what Asar said. I got the knowledge and I applied it. I used the wisdom. Now, that was in that month. This coming straight from the business account, a different account, right? Now, you see this? This happened in August, right? Because now I'm going to catch my wife's personal side. That's what my goal is, right? She put $19,500 into her retirement account. I want to put the same $19,500 in mine. How I'm gonna get there? I'm gonna keep using my brain, become the bank, and grow this asset so I can shift the money, right? And all it's doing is minimizing our taxes. It's a strategy, ladies and gentlemen. I promise you I'm doing this. That's why I want to show you. I speak from experience. Now, these two together, that equates to $10,000 on the business side. Okay, yeah, I'm not a $500 short right now, but I'm gonna go get it. No, I don't have it right now. I'm gonna go get it by sharing this information. See, I speak things into existence. I keep speaking what I want to seek. I'm speaking what I'm seeking until I see what I have spoke. It's all how you think about money. My account was zero, but that was the old me. Change the way you think. And before I bring it to Social Security statement, because we are over time, right? Remember this, guys and ladies, your life is a direct reflection of a story being told in your head. You're the one telling the story. You are the author. Whatever the thinker thinks, the approval will approve. Get away from the old you. You ain't that person no more, now that you have the knowledge. If you're not on this team and somebody invited you, make sure you get back with that person who invited you, right? They know exactly what we know. Now, let me pull up this here, Social Security, FICA, whatever. You know, people don't even understand it, and I'm hoping to enlighten you on this here, so to give you a perspective when you see people that are ignorant is not a bad word. That just means they lack the knowledge. When you see people that lack the knowledge that you have, just help them understand. Now, I've been tracking this for a long time, ever since I started my econ back in 2008. I hope it's big enough for you to see it. If it's not, I don't know, screenshot it, you take pictures of it, I don't care. And you expand it, and I got the stuff boxed and highlighted. When I got started in 2008, see, this is what they was telling me. They was telling me and preparing me for what's going on today. And I didn't even know it. I just listened and I executed. They was in a better position than I was, so I'm gonna follow the right cat. Any cat that's in a better position than me. And it makes sense to me. Well, it didn't even make sense to me. I just followed anyway because I wanted to be in a better position. Let's talk about this Social Security real quick. Most people don't even understand, ladies and gentlemen, about FICA. It's only 6.2% of your income, right? Now, let's do the numbers real quick, right? Taxes. Let's talk about your income, period. What you gross and what you net. This is for W-2, okay? That just, what Nick told you earlier, we don't knock jobs. But the people who work a job, right? If you see a difference in what you gross and what you net, everything in between is mostly taxes. This is a breakdown of it, right? I know you probably see federal, right? Now that's 25%. If you just do the math, federal is like 25%, right? If federal is 25%, let's just say that's anybody making, probably $40,000, $50,000 a year. You probably fall into the 25%, especially $50,000 a year, you fall into the 25% tax rate, right? Bracket. Now you have FICA, right? Which is really 7.62. So that's another 7%. 25 and 7, I think that's 32. Now, if you are in a state, let's just say, we ain't gonna leave it out state tax, okay? If you ain't got it, that's great. In Alaska, we don't have it neither. But that's another 7%, right? It could be 8, depends on where you're at, right? So that's about 38 to 40% of your income. They taking the taxes from that, 40%, right? Now, let's talk about just the FICA now. See, we don't want to let you leave any tax dollars on the table. We got a training about that too. We'll probably do that next month. Stop leaving your money on the table. It's your money, ladies and gentlemen. You work for it. And people are mad because the payroll tax is being given to them. That let me know a lot of people confused and don't understand this. How are you going to be mad about the money that you giving me because of you were taking it from the beginning, right? Oh, because of now I got to pay taxes twice. Okay, that's what they say, right? But you have seen already, no, you don't. If you know how to deduct money, okay? Tax deduction, maximize it. Let the government pay for it. But I digress a little bit, but let's talk about your Social Security and what it means. Where does it come from, okay? See, they tell you about the plan right here. It's the largest source of income for older people, right? I'm just saying, for your elderly. You're going to get old too. You've been paying into this system. I'm going to show it to you at the end, right? But they tell you will also need savings, investments, pension, or retirement account to make sure you have enough money to live comfortably when you retire. This is dated 2008, right? In 2017, this is what they was telling you in 2008. By 2017, we will begin paying more in benefits than we collect in taxes. Without changes, by 2041, the Social Security Trust Fund, the fund that they finna give you the money from, it's gonna be exhausted. So the money might not even be there, right? They giving you, the writing is on the wall. And how you mad because they're giving it to you now? When you get 65 and it's not there, ooh, if you're mad now because they're giving it to you, how you'll feel when you get there and it's not there. So you have to take control of your finances. Listen to the people talking. I didn't make this up. You got your own Social Security statement. Go get it. Okay? Now, let's fast forward 4 years from 2008. That's 2012, September. It's still me. My name's Terrence. This is mine, right? What they talking about? Social Security is a compact between generations since 1935. America has kept the promise of security for its workers and their families. Now, however, the Social Security system is facing serious financial problems, right? Without changes in 2033, the Social Security Trust Fund will be able to pay only about 75 cents for each dollar of scheduled benefits. We need to resolve these issues soon to make sure Social Security continues to provide a foundation of protection for future generations. We in that future generation, okay? Now, as I just studied my own personal Social Security statement, I just looked and see what they was telling me. I didn't write it. They did it. Okay? Your payment would be, right? This date right here, November the 1st, 2017, when I pulled it. $1,800 a month, right? Let's just be specific. $1,819 a month, right? Now, look at May 23rd, 2019, okay? It dropped. What happened? Where did the money go? You might not understand the point I'm making and where I'm going with this. Where did that money come from? Okay. So I looked at my earning record. They are basing and pulling that 6.2, okay? You just don't know your employer paying the other 6.2, but it's coming from your pay. And I'm sharing with you, these are my working years. The most I ever made in my life was $51,000 a year. But this is where they're pulling the 6.2 from, right? This is where they pulling. That's your money that you work hard for. But it might not be there. And you're going to leave your money in the hands of somebody else. As I close, that's a total, when I add it up, of $674,000. Let's just say that, right? $1,000. Let's just say that's almost, not far from, 1 million. This is working years. 674,000, right? 26 years of working. Back to the question from the beginning. If you can't show $1 saved for every hour that you work, it's only because you don't know something. Don't be ignorant. Don't stay ignorant. Don't, like Willie said, do not quit until you hit. See, Mike gave you an illustration. See, if you had $600,000 at that 1%, I believe, see, you're your number one asset. See, guys, it's time to really get and take control of your personal finances. You work for the money. You should keep the money. I'm not trying to impress nobody. I just want to impress upon you what I'm learning, how I get to where I'm at. That's as far as I can get you. That's as far as I can help you. But once you get on the investment side, you get money behind you. See, you have a purpose and you can start living your life on purpose. See, I heard somebody mention about an emergency fund, right? And I took a note on that, right? And I'm gonna end it, I'm gonna close it with this, right? See, it's not an emergency when you have the funds to pay for it. We call that an inconvenience. It's only emergency. You get all tight and sweaty and scared when you don't have the money to throw at the problem. Uh-oh is gonna always come. They're not going nowhere in life. We're in a pandemic, right? Uh-oh. I haven't been back to work since 2015 when I retired. I'm going through this same pandemic. You saw me in 2008, my Social Security statement, that's when I started. I started growing and building my business in a financial recession. I just didn't never quit. See, 12 years later, look what showed up. Of the seed. I don't know who plants seeds into you, but I sure hope you learn something from whoever put you on. And I hope those seeds catch, but it's gonna take you to grow personally. It's gonna take you to get on self-development because you're gonna have to grow. The further you go, the further you will see. If you could see where you wanna be already, you ain't going far at all. Just wanna help you understand that. Once again, I'm not trying to impress you. I just want to impress upon you. And as we close, hey, thank each and every one of you guys for showing up today. The master instructors, I appreciate you so much for allowing me to be able to moderate. And I couldn't do it without you guys. Teamwork, make the dream work. I promise you. Continue to load the wagon. I promise you, we'll all carry this together. I promise you, I won't quit. Like I always say, the biggest room in the world is that room for improvement, ladies and gentlemen. The next virtual Super Saturday will be October the 10th. You know, same time, same line. Everybody be safe. God bless. There's a lot of comments, and I can't answer them all right now, but everybody have a great weekend. Step in that room.